right. What is great, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Potty Mouth Podcast. This is my friend. Say your full name.
Hi, my name is Sundarri Rodriguez, and I'm a guest here on the Potty Mouth Podcast.
Great slate. I'm like, slate for real. How do you slate in an audition? When you walk in, what's your first thing?
I say, hi, my name is Sundarri Rodriguez, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Do you laugh? Do you usually laugh in it?
No, I do it pretty serious.
Really?
Well, I actually do it like
How serious do you?
I do it like pretty like, I try and let my personality come through when it comes to slates.
That's the best. Okay, so how did we meet? How do we know each other?
Oh my god. Okay, we're going there right now.
When did we meet? Was it June, July, or was it September?
I don't know. That whole year was a blur.
Oh, it's a blur.
Yeah.
2019. I feel like I've talked about this on the other episodes where I'm like, 2019, summer 2019 was the worst of my life.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
We had just turned 22. And didn't we both almost die on our birthdays that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm like, what a fun time. We met on the set of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which is funny. I think it's funny, the name of the show, because it's like Love and Hip Hop. Because we're like into love and hip hop, kind of, right?
Absolutely.
If you think about it.
Definitely.
We were extras, being extra, which is also another funny thing.
Yeah.
Extras.
Yeah.
If you think about the name of it. Remember what they had us do? What did they have us do?
We had to...
we had to scream we had to fangirl for Ray J.
Immature.
I don't
even know what happened to them. Which the lead singer is like, what, Omarion?
Was it a real band?
Yeah.
I thought it was a fake band.
No, Immature is a real band, but they were big, I guess, in like the 2000s.
Of course. I remember you posted on your story and you were like, we're here for Immature. And then you laughed. And I was like...
No, it was such a bitch, to be honest. Like, I was such a
I hated it, actually. It was draining. Was it draining for you to do that?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't scream for like things.
Yeah.
So to be like, woo! And like on camera, I'm like, this is my hell.
Yeah.
And also
acting like you're actually interested in the music.
And it was One Wish.
Yeah. I mean, except when he did One Wish. When he did One Wish.
Were you hyped? Were you hyped?
Yeah, I was actually hyped when he did
Wait,
One
why?
Wish. I don't know. One Wish is just like an anthem.
Is it an anthem?
Yeah. I mean, same.
I didn't know.
He did Sexy Can I too, didn't he?
Let me look it up. Sexy Can I? Sexy can I just find my manners? Shawty, how you shaking? Oh, it is Ray J. Mm-hmm. It is Ray J. He low-key like a savant or something.
What?
Like he literally knows everyone. He's connected to everything and everyone in Hollywood. It's like a whole thing. I can get into it, but I
didn't know that.
He's a Capricorn. Okay, that's why. Born January 17th. Yeah, he just... Literally, like, Brandy is his sister, and he signed and discovered so many different other artists that you would never think, about it. Mm-hmm. And, he invented Kim Kardashian, essentially.
Oh.
Like, way before Kanye.
Yeah.
You're like, we all know that. Did you see the tape?
I did, yeah.
No way. How old were you when you saw it?
Way too young.
Really?
Way too young to be watching
I know. I'm like, when did I see it? I think I, saw it a little bit on the internet when I was, I don't know, maybe 2010. Then I looked it up later in 2011 or 2012, and then that's when I watched it. Have you seen Paris's?
No.
No? Okay. I feel like every time, a celebrity's nudes leak, I don't know, have you seen Vanessa Hudgens' nudes?
Oh, yeah.
Those were iconic, right?
Apparently those were planned, though.
Were they?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it because most sex tapes are planned.
And she was trying to get out of her, her...
That's tea. I thought the rumor...
Youthful,
yeah. The reputation.
Disney star vibe.
It was like when Selena Gomez did Spring Breakers, but then she left 30 minutes in. She didn't want to...
she was the one who was praying.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she didn't want to commit to being a bad girl. She's like, I'll be in this movie, but I won't show my titties. Have you ever wanted Selena to go bad in your head? When is she just gonna go bad fully?
I mean,
do you think she ever had that era or what?
I feel like for Selena, she's
the good girl.
She definitely is the good girl.
She tries staying that way.
She definitely is the good girl. I do want to see her go
hard.
Yeah.
We got Come and Get It, but what else did we really get? Talkie
Come
Talkie?
and Get It.
What did we get?
I guess she would go through a Reputation era.
I'm just also show your ass, Shake your ass. Pop the titties. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's always fully clothed, and I know she's like a Disney princess and whatever, and she wants to keep like the thing, but I feel like it's like, I think it's such a moment though when celebrities like go bad. I think I was talking about this on my meme account. I went live and I was like, why don't any like pop culture people, influencers or actors, like why don't they give us like the tea like they used to? Like remember when Lindsay like Lohan and like Hilary Duff and Ashley Simpson, like remember when they would fuck up and it would be like iconic and like do you remember that time when you were a kid?
Miley Cyrus, I know she had
I feel like she's the only one that gives us what we want as a pop star. Like you want the train wreck, you want the rehab, you want the comeback story.
The rehab, you know.
Right, but she was so low key about it. She wasn't like, "Hey guys." She was like, "I'm just gonna check in and never tell anyone."
Yeah.
But I'm like, I love when stars kind of like fall from grace because everyone loves a good fall from grace. Like, do you ever think about that, or do you like when stars are like picked like squeaky clean?
I think a fall from grace is nice every now and then, you know, because then if you think
it's
about
easier to relate,
going to a low point and then coming up from the ashes is such a cool thing.
It's a vibe.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
And you usually get the best art that way too. When you hit rock bottom and then you create from that place. I think that's when you get some of the best results.
How many times do you think you've hit rock bottom in life?
Oh, great. So we're going there.
We're doing a wraparound. We're hitting all the hard shit first.
There's a lot of times that I hit rock bottom and I didn't really know how to grow from that or how to
and you stayed
create
there?
From it. Yeah.
Damn.
And I just hit that place and didn't know what to do with that energy and how to, you know, use it for my art. But I think lately I've understood like, okay, I actually like going to that place sometimes because it helps me. It's inspiration. It's something to pull from. And I think you and I have talked about this before. It's like a lot of, or some artists, I won't name names, but
like who? Like whom?
No, just some artists, you know, like they grow up in LA their whole life in huge houses and everything handed to them, and you know they don't know the struggle, they don't know what it's like to go through things, so they don't have anything to pull from. So their art is very surfacey, and
right.
You know, they just don't have much to talk about. They run out of things to talk about.
Right. Okay. I haven't even given background. You are an actor / singer / songwriter / anything else. What else do you do? Would you call yourself a witch at all, or is it too negatively connotated?
Maybe. I wouldn't say I'm a witch. I would say that's probably a too
derogatory.
Not derogatory. Just
controversial.
Yeah.
Dark.
Well, that and just I'm not really doing.
You're not practicing
crazy rituals or spells or any of those things.
I feel like we're all witches, but like society made the witch archetype be like negative. So like we're not like telling people like, I totally like chanted like the other day. Like no one wants to like say it.
Society doesn't want people to
tap into their shit. Yeah. Which sucks. But
it really does.
What you were saying, people who don't know or haven't gone through things are surface level. I want you to talk about your like where you come from, like what state are you from? Where did you grow up? How was your upbringing? And then also, what was the first time you started like making art, or at least channeling your emotions through art? How old do you think you were?
Well, I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in the South. Really small town called Greenville.
Which is crazy.
I know.
It's crazy because I'm from here essentially, like Orange County, and I just have never known a small, like, I mean, I guess I'm from a small town a little bit, but Greenville.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds like a small
South Carolina. Yeah. I'm like, what was there? What was your city like?
Well, it's 69,000 people.
Jesus.
Everyone knows everyone.
Does everyone really know everyone?
Yeah.
How?
Everyone, because we all go to football games and we all know each other's families, and
that's insane.
It's just, word gets out quickly around there. You know about other people and what they're doing with their lives, and people are addicted to drugs and stuff like that. The whole town knows about it.
Why do people know? Is it because because no one has anything going on? Or that's the tea?
Yes. Everyone's so bored with their own lives in a town like that they just kind of keep up with other people's stuff because
Interesting.
They don't have anything going on in their own lives.
When you were young, how did you know, or when did you know that you were like, this isn't my life?
I think, I don't really know if there was a set in stone like moment where I really realized. Maybe if I had to pinpoint one moment, it would maybe be when I was graduating high school and everyone was... Yeah.
What was happening?
Well, everyone was putting in their,
applications
and transcripts and things, and I knew that I was an artist, from that moment. I was like, I can't see myself doing anything besides art. And my teachers were kind of like,
where are you going?
Yeah, where are you going to school? Why are you not going to a 4-year college? And of course this was unheard of with a lot of people.
Unheard of?
Yeah, because it's just, everyone goes to college, everyone does the whole 4-year thing, and everyone becomes...
So there was, how many other people like you would you say there were?
Not a lot.
So you felt like,
decided to...
I'm the star. I'm the main character of my high school. You felt like that though, a little bit, right?
A little bit. There was also this one moment I remember in my math class, in senior year, everyone went around the room and said, what they were doing after, where they were going after high school. And I remember saying, oh, I'm going to an acting school in New York. And the whole class just...
Like audible gasp, or what's the deal?
Yes, it was audible.
What did people really say? Were they just staring?
Everyone was just staring, and they're kind of like...
Was everyone like, she thinks she's so hot?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, what kind of school is that? And
what?
All this stuff.
No one heard of art school. No one saw fame.
I mean, I guess not. It's just that when you're in that mindset of a small town, it's hard to...
Everyone's becoming nurses.
Right. It's so hard to see anything outside of that.
How did you feel? Were you just like, I'm different and weird and no one accepts me? Or were you just like, I'm gonna be something better than all y'all? Like, what was in your heart of hearts, when did you feel like, what if I don't make it? Like, what if I'm just a loser? Like, or were you just like, no, I'm gonna do this, period?
Of course.
Did it lean more towards the period and start out from, or was it just always
it period? Was kind of, no, it definitely was not always a period. I'm a very insecure person. I would say it's really hard for me not to, compare myself and beat myself up and things.
Damn.
That's one of the things I struggle with the most.
Damn.
And so,
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah,
we all like hate ourselves.
Of course.
So funny. Because it's like everyone's insecure. That's the best part, though, about being like, I'm insecure. Like when people tell me like, I'm so insecure, I'm like, you say that like we're not all, well, not you, but like there's been people who would be like, I'm actually like, and I'm like, that's like my one advice or just like thing to say is that I'm like, literally no one cares about you, not in like no one cares about you, but it's like no one's thinking about you. Everyone's thinking about themselves.
That's right. Yeah. Like, it's hard to get out of that program of thinking,
But that's freedom, because it's like, if no one's thinking about me, I can do whatever I want, you guys.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then once you realize that, I think everything kind of changes. I think I've understood that even more so this year and last year.
Damn.
But it took a long time. I mean, 18-year-old me in that math class was definitely scared as fuck, so insecure, just didn't know. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do, but and I knew, I guess in my heart of hearts, I knew what God wanted for my life, and that's what I was going towards, but I just didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I just got out of a super toxic high school relationship.
How long were you with him? Since 15?
Yeah, we started dating my sophomore year, and then we broke up my senior year. So
okay, wow, formative years.
I know.
How did you guys meet? Was it just like grew up together?
No, he was actually from Miami, and he moved to.
Yeah. That's so like. I have a boyfriend from Miami, you guys. Like, were you in?
Well, he was like the new kid.
Yeah. You were like, I got him. I got the new kid. He's hot. Like, he's from Miami. Is that how you felt?
It was kind of the vibe. Yeah.
Okay, how did you meet though? Like, do you remember the moment?
Yeah, he was actually in my science class.
Science. Okay.
10th grade science. It was biology.
Bio.
Yep.
Classic. Just kidding. But
I mean, we were sitting next to each other, and
oh. Do you ever think about the powerful, or I guess it's ordained, but a seating chart can change your destiny? I'm not joking. Did I tell you about the guy? Because he's a Cancer, right? So the cancer that I knew from high school, literally the only time we ever spoke was when we got randomly selected to be partners in Spanish class. So it's like, had my teacher not done that, I don't know who I would be. Right. Just kidding, but I don't know if we would ever have, like, talked otherwise.
Right.
So it's like when they hand out the seating chart, it's like, so literally was my teacher with an astrologer to be like, we need to place these people here because they're soulmates in this lifetime, and, like, they're going to have a, like, you know, it's like, they didn't know. It was random, but it wasn't random, right? So it's like, because God. But, okay, so
because God, period.
So you were sitting next to him. Who talked to who first?
Oh, I mean, this was a long time ago. We're going on 10 years ago, which is crazy.
10 years ago.
I mean, almost. I'll be 25 soon. I mean, I'll be 24 first, but
sophomore year was 2012,
I'm
2013. Yeah, so fuck. I'm like, how old are we?
I know.
I still feel 12 like every day. So it's
I'm
just like, am I really like pushing my mid-20s?
I know, and I'm wondering if that really ever goes away.
It doesn't.
If you always feel like a kid.
Well, I talked to my dad about it. He's like, I don't feel any different from when I was younger. I just have an older body. And I'm like, just like, what? Because like, I guess I feel that way too. I actually feel younger now than I did when I was young. Do you ever feel like the first part of your life was so turbulent and toxic and dark that you had to grow up really quickly, and by the time you were 17, you were like so stressed out every day because of trauma and shit, that like you aged in reverse a little bit? Because like now I feel literally like a 16-year-old way more than I did when I was 16. When I was 16, I was so stressed out, and like I looked older. I had bigger titties. I like looked like 40. Like I looked like when I was 17, people thought I was 22. Now that I'm 22, people like when I was working at Chick-fil-A, they were like, "You look 16." I was like, "I'm 20," and like I don't know. I feel like I just Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you were older at 15 than you are now?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
What is that?
Well, I wanted to grow up too fast when I was a teenager. I just was like, I want to be a grown up. I want to drive a car. I want to have freedom. And I'm just such a free spirit in general. I mean, you know, I moved to New York when I was 18, just out of Greenville in South Carolina. So completely different world, universe. I mean, so I don't know. I guess I could definitely relate to that.
What did you do as a child that made you think, if I do this, I will be grown? Feel free to think about it.
No, it's all good. It's just, I would not be, my physical appearance, I was like wearing contacts and extensions.
What
and
color contacts?
What color? Crucial moment. Sometimes it was a green, sometimes it was a hazel. I had some blue ones. I just feel like, and also that could have been because of the deep-rooted insecurity that I had to deal with later. But
what about like how you look?
Kind of.
Why was everyone just like white?
Everyone was white in my area. I don't know if it was so much that, it was just, I don't know what it could have been, but I just wanted to be.
Was it just not being seen by like people in your life as when you were young?
I'm sure probably
was it like an act of lashing out, or did you think it was just like, this is me?
Well, I didn't really have the phase of maybe being like wild and, you know, promiscuous at a young age. I never really had that, but I always kind of kept my morals, but it was just kind of, I know my identity and I'm going to do whatever I want, and because I feel like my parents didn't care either way about what I did, so it was just that I kind of raised myself in a way. So
damn, Matilda, that's kind of how I feel. Not that I raised myself, but it was just like I was in my own world, and like no one really was like in it. Do you feel that way?
I do.
Well, you're like, I literally like would have my own agenda. I would have my own thoughts about things. I don't know. Like, what even is that when you're young? I literally would grow up, the way I would do it is I literally had a bunk bed, and I was on the top of the bunk bed. My sister had the bottom half, but there was a desk on, like, the side of the bunk bed, and she moved her bed from under the bunk bed, and so it was, like, an empty space. So I literally, like, created a cubicle, like an office cubicle, and I would, like, wear my mom's business suits, and I would go.
What? I've never heard about that.
Well, I would create a fake office in my bedroom, and I would pretend to be, like, going to the office. Wow. I would, like, sit in my cubicle and, like, pretend to plant. Like, I had no clue what I was talking about.
That's wild.
So that is how I, like, was like, I want to be an adult, and I did shit like that.
Well, it's so weird you say that, because I was just telling my roommate, the other day about how I used to play restaurant with my grandma.
Oh my
and
god. I love that. I used to do that too.
I used to, like, I think I was serving her, and it's so weird now because I think about my side hustle.
Fucking funny. Because, because I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I remember my favorite video game when I was a kid was Diner Dash. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I do.
So, I told one of my coworkers, because I really liked serving, like giving out the food and finding them and like making the line go fast. I'd be like, I love Diner Dash. So like, and then he would always call me like, hey Diner Dash, because whatever. I'm like, he was a Gemini, lol. But so it's just like whenever I'm at work and I'm like going go, I'm always like, this is like Diner Dash. So like, I don't know, you were saying your job as a server host. Yeah. Like you ended up doing what you pretended to do as a kid.
Yeah. I think maybe it was like in my subconscious that I was gonna do that as for a good portion of my life, because I started working in restaurants when I was 15, because it was always around, because my dad owned restaurants, and so I was just running chips at like 13.
Chips.
Yeah.
Did you get tipped?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I didn't know anything about labor or anything like that back then, but it was just like exciting.
That's such like a hot girl thing. Every hot girl's first job was like being a server at a restaurant.
I know.
I think so. I don't know. Or maybe that's just like, I know two people like that. Or at least everyone. It's easier to get a job in the food industry when you're hot. Isn't that tea?
That is very tea. Well, yeah, because you bring the restaurant more money if you're hot.
Yeah, that's
your regulars come and see you. You get tipped more.
Way more. That's so fucked. Right? Don't you think it's fucked?
Yeah.
Do you ever think like?
I mean, it's worked in my favor. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
So that's why, but it's fucked up. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I worked at Hooters, so
Was that your first one?
That was not my first.
Wait, when you worked at Hooters, did you dress up?
Yeah.
That's so lit.
Wear the whole outfit.
Do you have any photos?
I think I do. Yeah. Cue in the photo, guys.
How were the tips?
The tips were amazing. I was walking out with like $500 a night.
No way. How old were you?
19.
No way.
19.
You could be 19 and work at Hooters? I like think about, should I work at Hooters? I should have worked there when I was 17 because I have huge knockers. Yeah. So when you work there, do you have to wear like a push-up bra or like what's the deal?
No, I mean, you'd be surprised. It's not really about everyone thinks it's about, boobs and this and that, but there was so many girls there I knew that were working with an A cup.
Well, yeah, I think it's more about the legs, right? Yeah. Low key.
True.
Because you wear shorts.
Yeah, you do wear shorts.
You have to wear the tights, right?
Yeah. That's so I think it's also just about general personality, because you have to be interactive with the guests and like make them feel, stroke dudes' egos and be just super into sports or act like you are, and, like the whole deal, and sing happy birthday to people and be super enthusiastic. Damn. You're like a cheerleader, basically.
Like a Playboy bunny, but like for wings, right? What was this? Greenville?
No, New York.
New York Hooters.
I know.
What city?
I made so much money.
Like New York
Manhattan,
City? Manhattan?
Yeah. Right across from Penn Station.
No fucking way. That's, whoa. 19?
Yeah.
So you moved to New York City when you were 18. How was that?
It was really good.
How was the night before you went? How far from graduation was it?
I think, so I actually not too long after, because I remember I started a summer intensive program at this acting school.
The William Asper Studio? Is that what it is?
So I did the 2-year program at the William Asper Studio, but I did the summer intensive at this school called the Maggie Flanagan Studio. Cute. And I went maybe like I graduated high school like first week of June. I went the second week of June.
No way.
Yeah, I was
out
just
of there.
Right.
Where was it?
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan. Holy fuck. Okay, so do you remember the night that you packed? Was your goodbye process like bye everyone, or were you just like didn't tell anyone?
I think it was more like that, but my goodbyes are usually very fast and quick, and let me just get out of there because I hate goodbyes.
Oh my god, me as fuck.
Yeah.
When I graduated high school, I literally moved to Pasadena to LA like 3 days later, and I didn't even walk at graduation. I literally it was the last day of school. I like went home. I partied the night of grad night with my friends, but then like 3 days later, I just like got in the car with my dad, and I literally listened to like Ride by Lana Del Rey, like crying, driving away from Orange County into Pasadena. I was like, this is so fucking dramatic, and like
I'm in a movie.
Yeah, I was like this. I was looking out the window. I was like, you know when you like turn so that the driver can't tell that you're crying. You're just like.
That was me. That was me on the subway in New York.
Fuck.
I with my hair.
What did you listen? That's what I was asking. Do you remember when you were leaving? If you had like a playlist in your head, were you listening to music?
I don't think I had a playlist in my head. It was just I was so caught up about the boyfriend that we mentioned earlier.
Oh wait.
Because we broke up my senior year.
When?
And probably. I mean, it was like a back and
off
forth
until the end.
Yeah.
When was the first end? Because you knew graduation was coming. Well, and you're like, I'm leaving.
Well, it wasn't until he started being flaky with me that I decided I was going to move to New York.
When did you tell him?
I mean, it was after we had the breakups. And because he told me that he was tired of me and he didn't want to be around me and like that I was annoying and, you know, stuff no girl wants to hear.
Oh, shit.
Because we were hanging out every day and he just decided he wanted to, you know, he was so young, he just like wanted to be with his friends and he didn't really want a girlfriend anymore and it just switched up on me so quickly and
damn. When did he find out that you weren't like other girls or that you like had dreams that you wanted to like leave town for?
Well, it was after we broke up that I decided that I needed to get away from the situation. I needed to.
No way.
Yeah.
So
move to New York.
Had you not broken up, would you have just like settled for that life?
Probably, but I mean, God knows what He's doing. Always, you know.
So you were just like, this is my shit
for a reason.
Damn. I think it's always pain that projects us into the next level.
Oh,
right?
Yes, no doubt. You know I can attest to that.
Well, I hate that it's like that though. Do you ever wish it could just be like, I'm just making this choice because I want to, not because like, this is life or death?
Of course. I don't regret any pain that I went through. Like, even now that I'm healed and I'm in a place where I'm content and happy, when I was in the moments of being like, super depressed, I was crying my eyes out every night, you know, after my last relationship. Yeah. I didn't know I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it. You know, there were some nights I was just, you know, asking God for help, you know, but I wouldn't change any of those nights for anything because I created something beautiful out of it. And I got more in touch with myself and got to know myself more and realized what I don't want in a relationship and what I'll settle for or what I won't settle for. And I definitely don't regret any of it for sure.
Do you ever feel like in those nights you're just like, if I can get through this, I can do anything, and also I have to make shit happen if I survive this.
Right. Yeah, that's just definitely what's going through my head when I have those breakdowns for sure. So
each one of those, like, I guess you would call them, like, that's for me a rock bottom. A rock bottom is when I feel like I might not make it. Me too. Is like, that's what a rock bottom is. So for all of those, does each one, like, consecutively get worse? Or like the latest one or the one before that, do you think like, oh no, that one was worse than this one? Or do you think they get worse because you have the like prior rock bottoms to, because you can't get through a rock bottom without going through a different.
That's right.
It's like those ones are training for the next one.
That's very true. I think in my experiences they've gotten easier, believe it or not. Right. But I don't know. Right. But who knows what I'll go through? I mean, I've experienced certain kinds of pains, and I think that that's the worst pain that a person could go through. Right. But I don't know, you know, what other pains. You know, each hurt is obviously a different kind of hurt.
And I feel like God gives you the hurts that will hurt you the most.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is
you
for
gotta
you.
Learn the lesson.
Like, this is hitting all your shit. Yeah. And you have to, like,
you have
work
to deal
through
with it.
Yeah,
It really makes you hone in on those, do the shadow work. And, and really face those things about neglect and abandonment. And if I didn't go through that last breakup, I would not know how to be alone. Because I had just jumped from one relationship to the next. Right. But now I'm content with being alone. I'm fine. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy my own company. And now I can, if I'm going to attract a partner, it can be someone who is a whole person instead of someone who's just trying to leech off of my energy or something like that.
Damn. Okay, circling back to the first guy.
Oh no!
How did you start talking? Because you were sitting next to each other.
Well, I always in high school was the kind of girl who was always with all the guys.
Really?
I loved hanging out with guys.
What did you mean by that?
I mean,
you would just be like, hey.
No, I mean, I didn't like hanging out with girls. My Gemini sun, I liked the attention. I liked being the center.
I think that's more Scorpio of you.
You think?
Scorpio girls fucking love attention. They need, literally my friend is Scorpio Dom, and she would rather be in a house full of a bunch of guys or a whole group of guys and no girls, because she likes being the only girl looked at in the moment. And when actually it's not like that and there are other girls, she gets angry. Yeah, she's like, I can't believe she's here and taking the eyes from me.
I mean, I try obviously not to do that.
I feel like it's a shadow side.
It is. It is, and I notice it, and I'm like, okay, let me not feel this way. Let me call in some positive energy to reject that, because that's not cool. I don't want to feel any negative energy that I feel that I'm feeling is going to be directly projected back to me. So I don't want to feel like I'm envious or jealous of anyone or anything. And I want to hanging around with girls, but a lot of girls are pretty flaky though.
Yeah. I mean, well, what I found is I can only hang out with other bad bitches. Do you ever feel that? Yeah. Where I'm just I don't know. I'm just I don't even know a girl that's whack. Because all of my friends are goddesses. Right. So I think about it and I'm I don't know what it's like to be around basic bitches. So I'm so far removed from a basic bitch. That do you know what I mean? Where you're just who are those people even? What are they even like? Right.
Well, bad bitches could still be fake. So
right, but that's how you know they're not really bad bitches.
That's true.
That's tea.
That's super.
You can't get that title unless you are legit, in a well-rounded way.
That's very true.
But I feel it's hard being talented and beautiful around girls that don't have either. Right. Because you can feel the burning energy that they send you, right? Yeah. And you're why am I shaking? Yeah. Absolutely. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Tons of times.
I hate that shit. Okay. Yeah. So when you were getting it, high school, you were talking to him. You talked to him first, I'm guessing.
No, he actually was just really funny. It was one of those
Cancer men are so funny.
I know, and that he was not even the the cutest guy in school or anything, and everyone kind of, always would look at him and me and be like, how did he get her? Because he
Falcone.
I know.
Falcone, but the video.
No, seriously, go full circle here. But he was just so funny and he was so just sweet, and I don't know, he seemed so innocent, and I just really liked him, and he just basically, it was one of those situations where people say, oh, I was they say funny guys are the most dangerous because you're just laughing and then all of a sudden your pants are off. It really was like that, low key.
That's the best. Yeah. No, I love a funny guy. I would risk it all for a funny guy. Period. I'm I literally don't care what you look like. If I can laugh all day, all good. So in class, we would make jokes. And then when did you start being when did you start? Were you falling first, or was he pursuing you, and then you're okay?
He was pursuing me. Okay, he pursued me for a long time before. I was kind of oh, actually, I think I do kind of have a crush on him. And then
what got you? What was the thing? Was it a night?
I don't know what. I wish I could remember what that exact moment was. But it was just him continuously being super funny with me every day in class. He was because we sat next to each other, and then he would just, I don't know, it's just something broke in me, I guess. I was okay, I think I like this guy. And then one of my friends, she basically told him that I had a crush on him. Because basically she was trying to... Well, she was trying to play matchmaker. No. Okay, thank God. No, not
thank
that
God.
girl. It's my homegirl, Sharika. Shout out to...
I have a homegirl, Sharika, too.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah. Sharika Core, what's good? Just kidding. But I'm not that close with her, but she's friends with them.
Jones, what's good, girl? That's my girl. She really supports me. She always
what's her sign?
Post. I don't know. I would have to ask
her birthday?
I don't know. I feel it's September. I know.
Virgo? Is she Virgo?
She might be. I don't. Or maybe Leo. I get Leo vibes from her. I don't know.
Okay, maybe so you were
imagine she sees this. She's my birthday's in January, bitch. First of all,
was like, we're not even that good of friends, I guess.
I know.
Damn.
Well,
okay.
she's the reason why we were together, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's why I asked the sign thing, because I'm just like, when you look at it in like an archetypal way, it's like, oh shit. Like, I think for me, a Leo, I wouldn't be with my first if it wasn't for like a Leo girl being kind of like, you know, like meddling in a way.
That's what happened with me. A Leo girl got in the way of him and I.
Wow.
My ex-best friend.
That's tea.
Yeah, that's super tea right now.
That's tea. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. So she told him, she went up to him. Do you know exactly what she said? Did you tell her to tell him, or was she like, I'm just gonna do this?
Well, it was like one of those situations where I knew they were friends, and I
just like tell him like good things about
Well,
him.
I didn't tell her to tell him. I knew she was gonna tell him, so I told her that I had a crush on him on purpose.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It was one of those situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, she told him, and then after that, he was like, "Okay, I got this in the bag." You know.
No way.
We started dating on Valentine's Day, actually.
No way.
Valentine's Day of 2013.
No fucking way.
Yeah, 2013.
Holy shit.
I know.
What? I'm like going back to that place mentally right now in my head, and I'm like 2013.
Yeah.
That was like a low bottom for me.
Really?
Yeah, I like got evicted out of my apartment, and I remember I actually went to winter formal. It was like one of the first, if not the first school dance that I went to. And I remember this guy that I had a crush on, but I didn't even know I had a crush on him yet. Like I had a crush on him, but I didn't know what it was until later. Then I was like, oh shit, I do like him. But we were best friends or whatever, or friends. And he was actually going to the dance with one of my other friends who had asked him because it was Sadie Hawkins or whatever. And I remember we were at the dance, and he had left my friend who he was like there with, and like walked over to me because I was just like sitting at a table, and I was like, oh my god, like he like left his date to come talk to me. And I remember like my eyes like rack focused, and I could like see her in the distance being like, why is he talking to her? But like her and I are cool. Like we've known each other since like elementary school, which is so weird to think about it now. It's like if I would have known that like you were gonna go to winter formal with like this other, it's just like, you know, like growing up small town. Did you ever know anyone from like elementary school, middle school, and high school, and you went to every three of them? Yeah, so it's just like when you see who they end up dating, you're like, oh, I had a crush on like, oh my god, like one of my crushes from middle school. I don't want to say it because like, what if he sees it? He's married now, and then literally my first crush in kindergarten, Hunter Howie. He got married last year in the beginning, like right before quarantine, and I remember, or like in the middle, he got engaged in the beginning and then got married like in the summer, and I remember literally spiraling for like a week. Really? Recently. I'm like, I don't like him. I didn't even like him growing up. It was just in kindergarten in 2002 or 1. Right. But I just remember thinking like, what, because we liked each other. Our parents forced both of us to tell each other that we liked each other. We literally have a photo together on graduation day. I just think, like, what would my life, that's what my life would have been, had we ever been a thing. I would have been married by now, and, like, living in Aliso, just, like, fixing cars and taking photos of them in a parking lot. Like, that's, like, what he does.
Well, that wasn't the plan.
And I'm like,
for you,
yikes.
I feel like.
Yeah, it's just
bigger
weird.
things.
It's just fucking weird how, like, the pawns and the pieces.
Oh, anyways. No, it is. It is very weird.
Because it's like, that is an alternate universe. Mm-hmm. It's like that one episode of that 70s show. Have you seen it? Mm-mm. Where I think, oh my god, I'm going to cry. It was like, what's the name of the main guy?
I never watched that 70s.
Oh my god, you didn't?
Yeah.
What was his name? That's like my favorite show. Donna and Eric. Is Eric? Yeah, it's Eric. Okay, Donna and Eric. They obviously grew up together. Mm-hmm. And then they start dating when they're older, and then they like lost their virginities to each other, blah blah blah, and then they're breaking up essentially because they don't want the same things in life. She wants to like be successful. He just like doesn't have any like dreams. Yeah. And they have to break up, and then I guess one of them, I think either Eric or Donna, like wishes that they never like dated or that they never like fell in love with each other. And then there's this whole like montage that Eric has or that Donna has, or maybe both of them, where like he gets to see what it's like if he never dated Donna and she dated someone else, or he dated someone else, or like later on the line. So I always just think that with like high school and growing up and just like life choices, it's like literally somewhere in the universe, I literally am married to my kindergarten crush. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Or I'm still or I ended up with this person that maybe I shouldn't have been with.
Right.
And it's like, what would have become? Whatever.
Well, probably you would have been miserable, to be
right.
honest.
Isn't that funny?
I think about what my life would have been if I would have married the guy that I dated in high school, and I wouldn't have had any drive or ambitions. I probably would have just had kids and just regretted my whole life because I had all these ideas and creative energy that I didn't do anything with.
Do you think most people are in that state?
Absolutely.
I hate my fucking life.
Yeah, because people just go with what society tells them that they should do, and they don't follow their hearts because they are too scared out of fear and comfort and security.
It's honestly so hard for me to think of like what that would be like. So I remember I was laying in bed with one of the guys that I dated a little bit, and I remember he was telling me this like story about like this coworker that they had, and she would always be like, whenever she messed up, she would be like, oh, I hate my life. And like he did this impression of her, and I would always laugh at the impression. I would be like, do the impression, because he would do it so funny, and it sounded like exactly probably like what she sounded like. Right. And then I was like, I remember thinking like, do people hate their, because I was at a point in my life where like I felt like I was the luckiest girl in the world because I like got the internship I wanted, and I like fell for this guy really hard, and I was feeling all these things for the first time. Right. And I just felt so hot. I was like 21. Yeah. You know when you just like feel young and hot and like in your prime, and you're like, oh, this is like literally the best feeling. Yeah, that's peaking. I'm peaking. So I remember I was like would lay with him, and I would feel so lucky, just lucky. And I was like, do people hate their lives? Like, and he was like, yeah. And I think about it, and I'm like, I think everyone hates their lives, and that's so sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Hopefully, this new era of people are they're changing that mold and understanding that you don't have to go to college and do the whole thing.
Yeah. My thing is like, do whatever the fuck you want, and I think that is true happiness because like you chose to do what you wanted.
I did.
So you're free.
Right.
Everyone else who was like, what school is that? Like, they're not free, bitch. No, they're not. What are they doing?
They don't even know what they want.
Are they like in accounting? Like, what are they doing? They wear Little Caesars? What are they doing? That's my thing. I went to my hometown the other day actually, and I was at Trader Joe's, and like one of these girls that I grew up with or went to college with, like I know she's super smart. She probably gets really good grades. She was like a basketball player, whatever. Like she was just working at Trader Joe's, and I like ran into her, and I'm like, I don't even know if she like knows who I am because I like look different. And I'm like, so you just like are working at Trader Joe's like 6 years later,
right? Which
is fine because I'm like, I'm unemployed, all good, like. But I just think about it, and I'm like, some people really, like, I would go to my hometown with my sister. Sometimes we'd go to, like, Pet Boys or something, and she'd be like, I fucking, like, had physics or, like, Spanish 3 with this kid. And he's just, like, ringing up our tires. Yeah. Like, sometimes people really just do nothing. Right. And it's all good. Yeah.
No, I mean, and some people, you know, they really...
And they're fine with it.
Right. A lot of people are
like,
happy
that's just
with
their shit.
Simple life. And, like, I tell my mom this. I'm like, Mom, you know, are you okay with just having kids and being married, and that's all like you really did in your life? And she said that was always her dream, was to like have a nice home and cars and the perfect husband, the 3 kids, the dog, you know, that was her dream. So I mean, to each his own. I'm sure some people are really happy.
Yeah, it's like some people literally just want security,
like simple life,
and that's it.
And they're okay, you know?
Damn.
But, I mean, I also think maybe their soul isn't evolved to really understand that they do want something a little more than that. Maybe they're not as far along in their soul's journey, you know? Some souls are older than others.
Yeah. Do you know at all if your mom had any other dreams? Like, is there anything she's good at or she wanted to do?
She was a dancer in high school. Yeah, she was like... She
like a cheerleader?
She did, what is it when they, like, flag?
Baton, yeah, flag.
What's it called? They twirl a flag.
Yeah, it's called, like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's always had really nice legs. So, like, dancing was, like, her thing. And I don't know if she ever, like, wanted to do it professionally, but the thing is that she had me at 21, so that was pretty much, you know, her future, you know. She was just like, okay, I'm pregnant, you know, that's my life.
Damn.
But I kind of had a conversation with her about this recently, because I was like, you know, what were you thinking? I was like, oh, you probably think, I was just saying like a stupid thing, like, oh, you probably think like I ruined your life, or like, you know, just
Moms
whatever mom and daughter
things.
And she was like, no, I wasn't living until I had you.
That's like what all
said.
moms say. And I'm like, are you fucking sure?
Yeah, are you fucking sure?
My mom's always like, you're my miracle. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I ruined the marriage, but all good. Like, you guys got divorced like 2 years after I was born. No worries. But like, literally, my mom always says like, you were the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm like, should I have a kid to like feel that way about anyone?
Well,
like,
I mean, I think that kind of love, because my mom was just telling me the other day, she was like, you don't understand the child. We don't get it.
We can't even fathom it. It's crazy. And I'm like, do you ever think about it? Do you want kids?
I do want kids one day.
When do you want kids?
Well, whenever it happens, I want to be able to say that I did absolutely everything that I wanted to do in my career before I have kids. Yeah. Because I don't want to resent the child or multiple children, however many I have. But I don't want to feel any type of, ill feelings towards the kid because...
Do you feel like you got those feelings sent towards you as a kid, and that's why you're like, I don't want to?
Absolutely. Yeah. Damn. I think I did, and maybe subconsciously. Yeah. Because my mom still wanted to go to the clubs. She still wanted to live her 20s. She still wanted to be youthful. Still wanted to like live her 20s. And I understand that now that I'm in my 20s, but like obviously as a kid, you don't get that. You don't understand
you're like,
that.
Why doesn't she like me?
Right. And I remember even hiding her keys as a kid because I didn't want her to like go to the club.
That's so sad.
I know. That's like a memory that's burned into my mind.
That's like a wound.
I know.
Oh
is.
God.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about this earlier about how like I think about like how my mom was abusive or how she was negligent or whatever when I was younger, and I put it in perspective now, and I'm like, okay, well, she was literally like 36. And had just gone through two of the biggest heartbreaks and like ends of marriage in her life thus far, in the span of like 6 years, and like that's like a lot. And I was like 3 to like 4 to 5, and like the last divorce I think I was like 7. So I think about how she was and how she would drink and all the things that she would do, and I'm like, oh, she just was like numbing herself. She just wanted to die. Yeah. She was a mom. She couldn't. She had to just keep living. So it's like, of course she was going to choose vices. Of course, like, I just put myself into that mind frame, and I think about like how fucking hard life actually is for real. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm lucky she even ever was able to make dinner. Like, I can't believe she ever woke up and still went to work every day. I would like kill myself. Right. So I just think about that shit, and I'm just like, okay, so it wasn't personal.
Oh, absolutely.
She just was going through a lot at the time, and also was doing the best she could. Absolutely. She had never experienced that until that moment, so how would she know? But I think when we're kids, we like want our parents to be perfect, and we expect them to be like gods. Yeah. But they don't.
I'm glad now in my 20s I can say, I forgive my mom for everything she did, and I think a lot of it was stories that I was kind of creating in my head as a kid, with the negligence and things, and because I think about my childhood, and you
kind of become addicted to like that pain, because you get conditioned to be like, well, this is what love feels like, and then you're like creating that pattern in your head, and then you're just like, oh, well, no, I need to be this type of victim in any situation, and then you're like, wait. Yeah,
I'm so glad I got out of that thought pattern, because I don't want to attract any guys that are basically attracted to that mindset. Right. I don't want those guys anywhere near me.
That's like my biggest thing right now, where I'm like, how do I literally change my energetic field so that I don't attract people that I'm just trauma bonding with?
Because you have to heal the wounds. You have to heal the wounds.
It's like
that's the only way.
That's like my job every day. It's like doing the fucking shadow work. Yes. I've been doing the shadow work for like years, but 2020 has been like, in 2021, it's like nothing but shadow work all day, you guys.
No, it really has been, and 2020 really opened my eyes to shadow work and meditation and yoga and just
stillness.
Stillness and understanding what I am a spiritual body, and I'm a soul, and what I need as a being,
Right. We're full on our own, and we don't really need people, and it's all good. Right. Yep. I had another question. Do you think, because of like the whole, like, some people are okay with just like whatever, sometimes I think, and I've realized it recently, because my friends and I will sometimes just be like, I can't imagine just literally being a local and like just living. I think, okay, are my friends and I that live in LA, are we happy and like content with the like what LA living is like, and what following your dreams is like, and what being your own person is like? Because it is so unknown, scary. Every day is a surprise. You never know what's gonna happen. It's chaos and unpredictable. Just like all the things that it is emulates the turbulence of like a childhood that isn't the best. So it's like, am I just putting myself in this situation because
I'm used to it?
Yeah, because this is chaos. What I'm used to. I'm used to chaos. Right. And like that's why this feels comfortable, and I don't understand why you would just not be in this situation. But then it's like, well, when you really think about it, this is the most unknown, anything could happen situation. Chaotic. I'm just jumping off of a cliff every day.
Yeah, basically. So,
do you think
that's what it feels like, to be honest?
Right. Do you think that that's like healthy, or do you think we're like kind of addicted to, those type of things, or do you think it's just like we're thriving because we're used to it?
I think it could be a little bit of both, to be honest.
Right.
I think I would not be able to sit still if I was living back in South Carolina, just doing basic.
You would probably get into random shit, right?
Oh yeah, probably. I would probably create the drama myself because I was.
Is that why those people do that?
I mean, probably, yeah. Because you create situations because you don't have anything in your life has your focus or your attention or that you can give your drive to. But yeah, it could be a little bit of both. I think. I don't know. I just usually listen to my intuition, and when I start thinking about those kinds of things, because I did almost move back to South Carolina at the beginning of COVID.
Damn.
I really was debating it because I mean, my high school boyfriend gave me a promise ring and this and that, and I was like, could this be my life? But then I just realized, my purpose is much bigger than that, and I just want to get closer to my purpose and what God's will is for my life, and that's all that I really care about, to be honest.
Right. That's how you actively keep yourself out of like creating situations, right? It's just like, okay, like your path isn't creating situations. It's like doing what you're meant to do, right?
Right. Yeah, I just want to pursue my dreams and fulfill. I want to be able to, when I'm on my deathbed, when I'm 90, I just want to be able to say that I fulfilled my purpose and I did what God wanted me to do. And I, brought so many people to the light, and that's all if I can do that, then I'll be happy.
Light worker.
Yes.
Being a light worker. Totally.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked you earlier, what was the first time in your life that you remember like turning your pain into like creativity or like channeling it through that and like creating? Was it like after your first heartbreak, or was it like when you were a kid, or?
Well, I don't think I really knew how to do that quite yet as a kid. I wrote poetry here and there. I started with poetry since when I was around the time I graduated from high school, and then so I would, for my first breakup, kind of formulate those feelings into poetry, and then I didn't really understand that my art could be capitalized on, or I could formulate it into something like professional and have the drive to do that until after my second breakup.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really understand that art is something that you can actually, if you have the drive, you can actually make it something
lucrative.
Right. I thought art was just something to kind of help me through my situations and just me put a name to my situations or help me understand them better. But then I understood, I'm like, okay, no, there's other people that are going through this too. And there's other people that can relate to this, So I think just recently, probably in 2020, I started realizing that the pain can be something to share with the world. It can, I feel
you could turn it into something,
right? And I'm just being kind of selfish if I just keep it for myself.
Yeah,
in that way. Because
how do you go about being vulnerable like that, though? Because that's what stops people from doing it. It's like,
absolutely.
Why does anyone?
Yeah.
Why should anyone know about this like deeply personal thing? So like, what keeps you being like, I can say this or do this or I want to? Like for this album.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of you're probably putting it all out on the line.
I really am. I'm putting it all on the line.
This is like your life's work.
It is my life's work.
Every heartbreak has fed into
it is
the track list of it and the sound of it. So it's like That's the most personal thing.
Is.
It's like basically being like, hey, here's my
heart.
soul.
Yeah.
Like, here's it in audio form.
Yep. Right. No, it physically feels like I'm holding my heart in my hand and it's just bleeding all over me, and I'm just like, to the world, like, here you go. This is everything I've got. Like, here it is. You know, that's what it feels like. I mean, a lot of times I fight with my.
You stop and you just are like, maybe this is dumb.
Yeah, of course.
How do you fight through that? I mean, what is it that gets you to be like, no, this is it?
Really just reminding myself that God wouldn't have led me to this path if it wasn't for a reason, and I have to fight through it because I know that this is my purpose. You know, I can't listen to those negative thoughts or that negative inner dialogue because it's getting me closer to my purpose, and I just have to trust that and know that. I mean, that's all I can do, because of course that inner dialogue comes up. It's like, how do I think I'm good enough to do this? Who cares? You know,
that's me. I'm always like, no one cares about this thing.
But the thing is that there will be people out there who are going to. I mean, you might not be, you know, Ariana Grande or you know, or someone. Billie Eilish, but at least there'll be people out there who relate to it. And if I can just help one person or a handful of people go through a heartbreak and be like, okay, someone else has been through this, someone else has felt this, and how did they get through it, and what did they do to survive? Because at that point, when you go through heartbreak, it really is a matter of fucking surviving. And we just talked about this a little earlier. I mean, there's nights where you're like, you know, hyperventilating and you don't know if you're gonna make it, and you're just praying like, please, like, just help me through this night, like if I can help anyone understand that it's possible to get through it, and not only get through it but to thrive off of that shit, then I'll be content.
Going back to the music thing, when I didn't never finish my story earlier, but when I was moving to, it was like 2013, I moved to Long Beach because we were getting evicted in like Orange County. So I moved to Long Beach like the night of winter formal. And I remember it's like I had just gotten to like where I wanted to be at my school, like socially. And then I had to move. And then I remember when I was getting evicted, I had bought with my own money, because someone like gave me $20 randomly. I bought with my own money Justin's Believe acoustic album. And I remember when we got evicted, I came back to my apartment and we didn't have any furniture, but my mom still had like the CD player like plugged in. So I remember I would just like listen to that with like both speakers by my ears, because it had like 2 speakers. So I would just like listen to it like for the first time in that player. And I remember being so suicidal and sad and just down bad as like a 15-year-old. That listening to that album was like, okay, like literally his voice is the only reason why I'm like still going, like this music, his music in general. And I knew in that moment, like, I want to be this for people. Like, I want to give someone an escape to feel like life is worth like living and like to keep going.
Definitely.
Because it's like, damn, like Justin didn't know when he was like doing his Believe acoustic that it would help on that level. But it's like, I like straight up haven't killed myself just in hopes of being able to make music or being able to meet him. So I feel like giving people that is like priceless, like it's like the only thing that is worth giving to the world almost.
It really is.
So it's like, damn. So I guess that is something that like could drive you, but
Definitely. And there was so much that was left unsaid with my last relationship. Because we just kind of blocked each other and like never talked again, because he found a new girlfriend like 2 days later or whatever. But there was. Do
you think that drives you like every day to be like, my truth needs to be heard?
No, I mean, you're gonna fucking hear what I have to say if I have to put it out for the world to fucking hear it. Like, that's how I feel like sometimes I feel about my music, and it is a very vulnerable thing. But it's like, if you're not gonna listen to what I have to say with just us talking about it, then I'm gonna get it out of my system in some way. And to be honest, I feel like making this album has been such a
cathartic.
It has healed me so much, because I got everything off my chest that I needed to say.
I've noticed that with writing music, it's like once you cry and write the thing, it doesn't have power over you anymore, right?
It doesn't.
You're like, that's done. It's a song now.
Yeah.
Like, it's good.
No,
like, it makes me want to write more. That's the one thing that I'm like, oh, I gotta write like a fucking EP tonight. But sometimes when you're like down bad.
Definitely.
How, okay, are Are you able to say the name of the album?
Yeah. It's called Andromeda.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me. Oh, yeah, shit.
And you know why it's called Andromeda. I don't know if we have enough time to go into that. But
yeah, we have about 15 minutes to bang it out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, we're already at an hour, but we'll give you a few. We're going to talk about the album and then close it out.
Okay. Well, Andromeda, because our spiritual advisor that we talked to basically gave me a past life regression reading and just told me that my soul is not from this galaxy, it's from Andromeda, and I'm sure people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this.
It's like, who cares?
I know.
Even if it's hogwash, it's a great concept for an album.
Right.
Fuck it.
Right. And if I didn't get anything else out of it, I got a fucking album name.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it was like when she said it, it was like my soul knew exactly what she was saying, because I felt like I had been traveling every night in my dreams to like another dimension, and because I had really vivid dreams. I'm sure you can relate, but I didn't know. I'm like, I feel like I'm traveling. I'm going somewhere in my dreams. And I think what I was doing, my soul was doing, is like, I'm living this earth life, but I'm visiting home in my dreams. So I decided to name it that, because I felt like it was getting in touch with my true self. And it's
kind of like you landing on earth for the first time, being like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know.
Do you know how many tracks are on the album?
Yeah, so it's an intro, 2 songs, an interlude, 2 songs, and an outro. So was that like 7?
7, 8? I don't know. I'm bad at math.
Me too.
I'm like, what did you say?
Intro. Okay, so we have intro.
2 songs.
Interlude.
2 songs.
7 songs.
7 songs. Nice, perfect. No, it's perfect. That's my life path number. I mean, it's probably your life path number. Yeah. I have 7 tattooed on my. That was my first tattoo. You can't see it anymore. All good. But what was I gonna say? When did you start your writing process? Like, have you had poems and songs from years ago that you were like, let's like work on this, or was it just like one day you're like, let's start writing it?
It wasn't like a full. I knew I wanted to make a body of work because I've just released singles up until now. And
are those singles on it?
No.
There's
only one on it. Yeah.
Past Life?
Past Life Lover. Yeah, which, you know the story behind that. But, which isn't about my ex at all, but for the record, in case anyone's wondering. But, so I didn't know. I wanted to make a full body of work. I didn't know what it was going to be called. I didn't know what the concept was going to be, but Past Life Lover was the first song off of the EP. And I liked the way it sounded. It has that, like, very, like, kind of spacey,
ethereal,
spacey, psychedelic kind of sound. I was like, when I made that,
I just literally, when I think about the song, I'm thinking about me on acid in the tent, like looking at the stars, tripping, like. It's so fun. Like, I remember I was telling you, like, when you were playing, you were up in the rock, and I was just like, literally, where in the universe, like, where is she? Like, playing this. I was like, is she over there? Like, it felt like the whole, like, Joshua Tree was just playing it, and I was like, and like, the song itself is like slowed down a little bit, or at least when I was tripping, it sounded like that. And then your voice was like echoing, and I could like hear the layers like in the song, and I was just like, "This is so fun."
Well, I didn't realize that it was a trippy song. Honestly,
it's a trippy song.
I didn't know because I had never listened to it when I was tripping.
Did you go back and like remix it for the final version, or you just left it?
I just left it as is because I feel like it's a good I wanted to show. Like pay respects to like because the other songs in the album are obviously way better quality, way better just in terms of like the production values, way better. But I wanted to like show, okay, this is like, it's the first song after the intro. Yeah. So I wanted to just like, okay, this is
the first song on the album?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like, this is like how it started.
Well, it should start with Past Life because literally it's your past life. Yeah. And then you're coming into this realm.
This new thing. Yeah.
What's the next, do you know the name of the next song? Can you say it?
Yeah. So the next song is called All For You.
Cute.
I know. So it's featuring another artist named Willis. He's really cool. He also produced it.
The whole album or just the song?
Just that song.
Cute.
And then goes into the interlude, which he also produced, and which was just a freestyle. It wasn't like he just had the beat. I went in and I just kind of like
sets and shit.
Yeah, like
that's fun.
Saying some
Are
stuff.
those more fun than like writing something out?
I just recently started freestyling, like in the booth, and it feels so much more freeing because you don't feel any pressure. You don't feel. It's hard because I mean, there's some moments where I say stupid shit.
Yeah, you're like, what?
You know, it was like, what even just came out of your mouth right now? Ew, that was gross.
Right.
But you just have to realize you could just have fun with it because it's not going to keep any of that, you know? So just sometimes all the shit has to get out so that way, like, the good shit can come, you know? So you just kind of have to get out of your system to let the real creative energy flow.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever feel like when you're writing, you're trying so hard to, like, write something cool?
Yeah.
And you're just like...
Yeah. I mean, I kind of felt that way about Past Life Lover, but it was just, like, my experience. So it was... I felt like it was very true to, like, my heart. And, like, there's some songs that I've done where, like, I don't feel like it's as personal to me because I'm just trying to come up with a good hook or, like, but Past Life Lover was literally a story. Damn. So it's just, like, and I wrote it with, like, wine drunk. And
that's literally what it feels like, though, when you're listening to it. It feels like, or at least it felt like when I was tripping, I was like, this is, like, I don't even have the words for it. I just felt like, this is like a moment, like, I don't know, it's just like, if I were you, and like, I barely even remember the lyrics, I just remember like how it felt, and it just felt very like, it's not like a song about death or a song like that, but it's more just like, in your voice, it's like you're mourning, like the end of that past life almost, or like I'm not there anymore, but I remember you, and like just the whole vibe.
Yes, I'm glad it made me feel that way. I love like hearing how other people feel about music. Yeah, so obviously, like I feel a certain way about it because you know, I wrote it, so it's like it's different to me, you know. Yeah. But I love hearing what other people feel in the moment because you know lyrics can be perceived as anything. Yeah. You know, some people are gonna. I mean, I wrote the song about Justin Bieber, you know, like, and how we were lovers in a past life. But, I mean, so many people could just listen to it and make up all of these. That's what I love about music. You can draw your own conclusions, and, you know, it is such a, I feel like Past Life Lover is a song that a lot of people can draw different conclusions about, you know?
Yeah, like, we all have our past lives, however many there are, the infinite amount, whatever. And then there literally are people that you meet that like your soul family and your soulmates and your twin flame, where it's like, we literally have been doing this dance for eons, like since the beginning of time. Right. And I don't know if a lot of people, like obviously right now in time, people aren't like, yeah, past lives, but like a lot of people low key are like, yeah, past lives. Like they know, like they have that feeling with people where they're like, why do I know you?
I know.
Like I already know you.
Now that I understand the importance of them, when I meet someone, I'm like, I knew you in a past life. Like
right you can feel it. You can literally feel it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you don't just meet someone right off the bat and then you're like, oh my god, it feels like we've known each other forever. That's not, like, it just doesn't come out of nowhere. Yeah. Well, everything is energetic.
Yeah, when you meet someone and you, like, can't figure out where you know them from, that's when I know. I'm just like, okay. Because, like, there are people that I know where I'm like, I've never met you. This is the first time, obviously, we've ever met. Right. But then when you're just like, who are you? Yeah. Then it's like, yeah. And I feel like the closer you get to your soul, the more you can just like, okay, yeah, period.
Yeah, right off the bat, you know. Your soul knows.
So All For You, what's that? What's the vibe?
All For You is definitely more of a more trappy kind of vibe. That's the fun, I would say it's the fun song on the album, where it was just kind of like, I wanted to make something about being in a situation with a guy where you don't care about, you're so like into the dude and lust and your emotions are flying that you'll risk it all for that person. Yeah. You know, where you're just like, fuck it all. Like, I'll risk my career. I'll risk everything just to spend time with you. Like, that's kind of what was the inspiration for that. It was like, you know, it's also being in like a spiritually sound place and then a guy coming in and kind of
fucking you up.
Yep, just throwing it all out the window, but you're just so falling into it that you just don't care. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's about that feeling.
Have you heard All For You by Janet Jackson?
No.
It's one of my favorite songs ever. It's just like...
What is that?
I mean, I feel like I can't play it because it's like copyright or whatever, but it's like... it's just like a fun, dancey song. Yeah. It's like one of her biggest songs. it's just like, tell me I'm the only one, it's all for you. And like, I don't know, so when you said all for you, I was like, yep, because I already knew like the vibe of like that.
That's interesting.
That's how I feel with relationships, where I'm like, literally, and I think Sabrina Claudio has a song like that too, where it's just like, when you're into someone, you're like, I literally exist for you. Like, exactly. I will do anything. Like, I'll be anything.
And I hate that feeling, because you know when it ends, it's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you know in the moment, as you're feeling it, you're like, fuck, this is literally gonna ruin my life. Me. Yeah, ruin my life, literally. But you just don't care, you know? You're like, I'm feeling this. I'm in this right now. So, I don't know.
When you named it, was it based off of the lyrics? Like, is that the lyric you say the most? Is that the hook? Or is that the chorus? Or is it just like, that's how you felt while you're writing it?
So, it's not the hook, but I guess it kind of is the hook. The song's not really like, it's not too structured like a, you know, normal, you know, verse, hook, bridge, whatever, but I don't know, it's just the lyric that stuck out to me the most when I listened to it. So
is each song you have the same reasoning behind the name, or does one song you're like, okay, this is obviously called this, or do you have songs that are like, oh, this, I barely ever say this word, but this is what it is?
Well, like one of my singles that I released, Free Throw. I never say free. I only say free throw once. It's not the hook. Yeah. So I like the chorus is like, take it slow, just take it slow. So I could have called it Take It Slow, but I was like, that's so basic.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, I mean, let me guess what the song's called.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is right. So I mean, I tried to be a little bit more creative with the titles, but I mean, for the EP, like, there's a song on there also called like Without You, and I was kind of like, okay, this like,
has been
basic
kind of thing.
But the thing is that like, it's such a different song, like it's
not what you think it's about.
Right.
Are the titles a big deal to you when you like when you put together the track list, when you name them, when you write them? Are you just like, because some, like, I was actually listening to this podcast the other day where it was like, sometimes songwriters and comedians, they'll literally be like, I want to joke about this, and they haven't even written the joke yet. And like, for songwriters, sometimes they'll be like, I want a song with the title of this, and then they'll write the thing to it. So do you think it kind of like drives you in that way when you write, or do you think you don't think about it till the end?
Well, it just depends on the process. Like with Andromeda, I knew that the EP was going to be called Andromeda. So because of that, I like made all the songs have like a very spacey kind of past life.
Okay, so it's like almost a concept album.
No, it is. It's definitely a concept album.
Yes. That's the best.
I wanted to also, I'm gonna make a short film of it from start to finish.
So there's a through line.
There's definitely a through line.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, there's a story that goes in order. Almost. Oh my god,
so you have to listen to it in order.
Yes, I love
those.
Those are my favorite albums.
Outro. Yes.
Did you already shoot the cover art?
Yes. The cover art is amazing.
Okay, how do you go about figuring out what you want it to be?
Well, it's crazy because I saw this album before.
In your head.
I literally.
It's already existed.
It was a vision.
You just were bringing it through.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Period.
Like when I saw the cover, when it was like made and everything, because I got an artist to do it.
When did you finish it?
It just got sent to me like 2 days ago.
Oh my god.
I know. So
you really have to celebrate.
I
this
know.
Is like, that's a bit. I can't even. I've never been able to make any choice for myself ever. So I'm like, my biggest dread in life is choosing an album cover.
Yeah.
Like what could it could be anything.
Yeah.
You could like go real abstract with it. You could have yourself not on it. It could just be a picture of you. It could be you somewhere. It's like, how do you choose? So it's like,
I don't think I really chose. I think it chose me, to be honest. Like I literally saw this. It was, I envisioned it. And then I was just like, okay, I see it in my head. I know exactly what it needs to be. I need to find people who can bring it to life. You know, so that's,
did you draw it out?
No, I didn't draw it out, but I just gave notes.
Cute.
And,
so when did you, is it like a photo shoot that you did?
So I don't want to give anything away.
Okay, so
before it comes out, because
the cover art is like, it's dropping when it drops. You're not like
I might
promo
it a little bit. I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna go about that, because I did have a photo shoot with the same concept.
Because this podcast, your album drops March 7th?
Yes.
Okay. T. That's dope because 7 tracks, March 7th.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's my like favorite number.
I did not
so when
even
things align
think
like
about
that, I'm
like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why I dropped it on March 7th was because it was my ex and I's anniversary.
That's tea.
Yeah, so I was like, it was already almost.
You have to rewrite the story. You have to change that date.
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Because fuck that day.
Right. And I don't want to associate that day with that anymore. Mm-hmm. So now it's going to be the day that my album dropped.
That's the best.
So, and it was already going to come out. Like I was trying to decide like maybe mid-February or, somewhere around there. But then I was like, okay, March is coming up.
I think also it's a great number because 3, 7, 21. 3 times 7 is 21, right? So it's
okay.
I'm like, period. Numerology.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a powerful. It's like a day because it's like 21 day. That's like almost an angel number. It, like there's 2 2s, 2 1s. It like works. I'm like, it just makes sense.
Yes.
That's how you know it's like, okay, this is meant to be
aligned.
You got it sent to you, and like, what did you think when you saw it? Were you like, do you really like the photo though? Because if this album becomes what you want it to be, like this is the almost important cover.
I know.
Do you think about that?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna have to look at this photo for the rest of my life.
And I almost started crying when I got it.
Really?
Yeah. It was just exactly what I had in my head. It was just like someone took it out of my brain.
That's perfect.
And literally just like put it on paper. Mm-hmm. So that's why I did think about that. I'm like, I think about like Jane Aiko's like first stuff, and I'm like, it kind of gives me like those kinds of vibes. Mm-hmm. And then I think about like, you'll have to be associated with that album cover.
You're creating a universe, and this is the movie poster.
I know,
right?
Yeah,
or like this is
definitely.
This is like the person that you're also like telling people that you are, whatever the photo is. Because I think about albums where it's like the album Beyonce or Zendaya's album called Zendaya. It's like when it's like a title of your own name and it's just like a photo of them. I'm like, that is more pressure to me, it seems, than like creating something, because it's like I can barely post a selfie on Instagram. I can barely choose. So how do you choose? Yeah. Because I'm indecisive. So
something to represent. Yeah, that would definitely probably scare me a little bit too, because then it's like, oh,
this is just my face.
Me.
Yeah. So how did you go back and forth with yourself while designing it? Like, no, it can't be that. No, or was it just like, no, this is it, and we're gonna make it. Period.
I think it was. I had dreamed. I just knew what I wanted. It was just like instant.
Period.
It was the cover was just what it was, and
yeah.
That was it. I just like knew. I literally saw it in my head, and then when I saw it brought to life, I was like, I have dreamed about this. I know that like this is like exactly what I had been seeing this whole time, and it was just it. I don't know. It was just
this is it. Yeah. Okay, so you have no qualms. You feel great about it. That's the best.
I feel great. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is maybe the I am calling out some situations.
In the photo?
No, not the photo.
Oh,
the album.
Okay.
No, I thought you meant like as in the album as a whole. I am a little worried because.
Are you worried?
It's vulnerable.
It's very. That's my thing. Is that I'm like
so vulnerable, and I sent you one of the songs.
Yeah, because I have songs written where I'm like, I literally can't even ever release this because it's like I don't want people to like even speculate or wonder, or if the person that it's about kind of hears it and they're like, this is about me. Right. Then I'm like, are they gonna think that I'm like starting beef or like want attention or like using them for whatever?
But I mean, it's my pain, and I get to decide it. Kind of what Justin Bieber said about Selena Gomez when it came out, like, oh, how do you feel about Selena making songs about you all the time? And she's entitled to do whatever the fuck she wants. He said that? Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants with her pain. That's her pain that she feels, and she can do whatever. It has nothing to do with him.
Thank God he's like that. Yeah. What if he was like, okay, I'm like, sidebar, Justin Timberlake. No, just I read this thread on Twitter the other day about how like Justin Timberlake just slandered Britney Spears in the media like for years, and like he's just such a fucking dick in any interview. He's just like shading her. And it's like, you were her first love, bro. Yeah. Like, let her become the world icon she is and stop being like a salty bitch. Yeah. Like, just whatever. Right. So, yeah, it's like, if, I don't know, if Justin had anything to say. And also, he's like, he regrets probably all the things he put her through. So it's like the least she can do is profit off of this. The least she could do.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, it's not even, like, profiting off of it. Like,
it's just expressing.
Yeah. And like I said, I really needed to make this, I think, to come to terms with a lot of things, because I felt silenced in a way. I wasn't able to find closure in the situation. It just kind of ended. So this is my closure.
Yeah, this is your rare album.
It is.
That's tea. Holy shit. Okay, so do you ever think about, once it's out and it's playing in people's ears and my voice is in people's minds and people are kind of giving power to my words, do you ever wonder how it'll feel or if it'll affect, like, the way like, I don't know. I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, speaking and singing, it's like we create our universe mainly by, like, the words that we speak and things like that. So I always just wonder, like, if someone is, like, reliving their pain through my voice and through my sound, like, I don't know, like, is it going to change the way the song sounds or feels? Because for you, only you've really heard it.
Right.
But, like, once it goes out there, it becomes, other people own it at that point. Like, it becomes,
I mean, I have felt kind of selfish in that way.
And you're like, I don't want to.
I'm like, maybe I won't even release it. It's just, like, when I'm in the car listening to it and I'm, like, about to
You're like, this is my shit.
I'm about to go off. Like, I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe, like, this is mine. This is my song, you know, like, but then I'm like, no, okay, it was, like, meant to be shared with the world. And, I mean, there's obviously people who are going to hate my music. There's obviously people who are going to love it. So, I mean, like I said earlier, you know, I just want, if it can help anyone understand, like, the healing process and, like, how you can really come out on top from the healing process, and, like, all of that doesn't go in vain. Like, your blessings will be multiplied by the things you go through, the things that were done to you. You know? And like I said, I wouldn't change anything that I went through for anything, because I wouldn't have gotten this art out of it if I didn't go through it.
Damn.
You know?
Wait, so you're done writing the album?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When did you finish it?
So I finished it, I guess, was it a week ago from last Saturday? So a little, like, week and a half.
Oh my God.
Week and a half ago.
It's like hot off the presses at this point.
I know.
It's not even out, but, like,
I know.
This is
the final touches.
Damn.
I did the intro and outro, and I cried in the booth.
No way.
Singing it, because I was just like, okay, this is it, you know? This isn't, you know, putting pieces together anymore. This is, like, the cherry on top. This is bringing it all together, you know? Yeah. So it was...
Did your whole life thus far flash before your eyes?
No, it did. It did. And I was in there singing the outro.
I was in New York, and I know. What? Like, did you think about everything?
I did. I was like, I'm really out here right now. Like, I'm here right now. Like, in a fucking booth, finishing off my first ever album. You know, like, this is fucking crazy.
And you put all your own money into it, essentially.
I did, yeah.
Damn. Fuck. How... Was there a process behind that, like, financing this project, or was it just everything you do for this?
Well, I just, like, saved up to finance it. I mean, it's an investment, you know, like, with anything, like, you have to invest so that, and I just have to trust that it'll be multiplied, you know, eventually. Wow. You're investing in yourself, you know. Yeah. And I'd rather invest in that than a designer bag or some of these people, what these people care about.
Right. When did you start the writing process for it?
Well, it started with Past Life Lover.
Past Life Lover.
And then really just, it was never like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit down and, like, write this album. It was just kind of a lot of, when I was feeling a certain way about something, and when I was going through a specific thing in, like, the process of healing, I sat down, and sometimes the only thing that I could do was write. Yeah. Like, there's no, I knew the only thing that would make me feel better is getting it on paper, kind of like how you were saying earlier. But, so there was never really, like, a moment where it was just like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write this entire EP. It was just going through, like, one of the songs I wrote on a plane.
That's lit.
You know?
That's the best.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
Because it's like, this is just how you're feeling in the moment, and you're going through life. And, I feel like the best songs are written in the shower, right when you wake up from a dream. Yeah. And, like, while you're just doing random shit. Like, What do you do when you're out in the world and you're like, oh shit, do you just go to your notes app or do you have a physical journal?
Well, see, I always regret it. A lot of times I'll have an idea.
And you just don't write it down.
And I don't
I'll remember it.
And I will
it's like,
regret. And you will not remember it.
It's like you won't remember
it.
If
anyone is listening out there, write that shit down fucking immediately. And I've learned lately to trust my intuition in that way. And like anytime I have an idea, I don't care where I am, I don't care if I'm driving, I don't care if I'm at work, I have, like, I literally was at work the other day and I like went to the back literally because I had an idea for a song. I was like, I have to get this down right now.
Period.
Like, you can you have to listen to your intuition.
When I started writing stand-up, I would literally take this little thing and I would be at the host stand, like just waiting for guests to come up, just writing jokes, and I would just shove it in the drawer. Yeah. And I wrote like a Netflix special at the podium at my work. Yeah. Like that's like the best, because if I didn't have the journal, I would just be standing there thinking of funny shit that I will never remember. And it's like that's the best shit. The easiest shit, the best shit is actually the thing that comes to you the easiest. Right. Because when you have to sit there and like think about shit and like, how do I be clever? It's just like, it's not as special as that thing that just comes through to you. And you're just like,
you're like, I have to get this done.
Yeah, you're like, I gotta.
So that's the best thing I could think I could have ever realized, which I've realized, I think maybe even like end of last year, this year, is like,
damn,
anything that I have, I don't care where I am, I have to. And of course, there's moments where I don't listen, and then they go, oh yeah, I'll remember it later, and then I don't, and then I'm like, dude, what if that was the one?
I know, I'm like,
what if that was a hit song?
What if that would have made me go platinum, bitch? Fuck. Yeah, I think that's why artists, they get kind of really fucking serious about it. I remember when I was working at the studio, my coworker was telling me about the lead singer of REM. He was like, he never, studied music or did anything specific for songwriting. He just literally would take inspiration from like anywhere, and he always had a notebook with him. And he told me in the studio, he's like, always have a notebook with you. Yeah. Always have a pen and a notebook, because you never know when someone's gonna even say something to you that becomes a huge lyric. Like, I think a lyric from one of REM's songs is from when he was at a diner, like somewhere at the side of the road, middle of nowhere. And I guess a waitress came up and said he looked like, I'm going to misquote this, but he said he looked like a mile of open road, or said something to him, like, you look like something. Yeah. And he was like, that's great. And like, he just wrote it down. So it's like, sometimes other people will give you the lyric. Ideas. Sometimes you'll hear a conversation and be like, that's the best. Right, you're like, what are they saying? Yeah. So it's just like, it's all about literally just being open, creatively open channel to that shit. Because it just becomes so easy that way.
It really does.
Okay, so All For You, it's like a trap fun song. Okay, that's another question. Do you have more fun writing from a place of sadness or a place of happiness?
Definitely a place of sadness.
Damn, Pisces
I am
moon.
I'm just a tragedian in that way. Like, my acting teacher would say, like, Sunny, like, you're just a tragedian.
What does that mean?
Basically the opposite of comedian.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
no fucking way.
Yes.
You're joking.
I swear. Because I was
tragedian?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
It's like T-R.
Oh, tragedy.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So he because I was so good at.
You would choose like dark monologues.
Right, and I was so good at the dark shit, but like comedy, I'd be like, I don't know what to do. Because I'm just like, I love diving into sad, dark
Scorpio rising
places. I love going into that. I know. Yeah. I love going there.
Do you think it's because, like, in life we're so conditioned to like not be that way, so when you're there it's like, well, this is the truth of humanity. This is who people really are.
Yeah. And I think it's this is what I really am, and I'm not wearing any masks or anything, so I can just get, channel it in some way. Damn. Okay, so when you're feeling happy, you don't really think, oh, I need to write a song, or do you just think, oh, I could write a song about this fun thing? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't come as fluidly
as the sad shit.
Stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, eventually, I get.
I mean, it can change
to the place, right, where it does. But I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to.
I feel like that's how you purge, though, right? Mm-hmm. By being like, okay, here's all my dark shit, and let's like bring it out and like put it away.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Damn. And I told myself, I'm not gonna write any more songs about this individual. I mean, if it comes, I'm not gonna like block it out, but I want this to be like the closing chapter. I want this to be like I'm putting it to bed. No more songs need to be made about this person. I can move on and start making songs about new stuff.
Okay, what's the 5th song called, or after?
So after All For You, it goes into the interlude, which is Here I Stand.
Cute.
I know, yes. And it's like super, God, it's, the intro, interlude, and outro are very, very like
vulnerable,
personal, and just like, you know, it's really
like
just
diary
deep
notes
and
almost.
Kind of, yeah. It's just like very deep and really raw and just really touching too.
Really?
You know? Yeah. So I really like the interlude. It's really cool. It's like maybe like almost 2 minutes long.
Cute. I love a short song. Low-key short songs.
They're
I'm a hot take. They're the better ones.
Yeah, they really are.
Songs are like,
it doesn't drag on. You're just like, just the right amount, and then you want to replay it. So it's more streams.
Yeah.
You know?
No, songs that are like 5 minutes or 6 minutes. I'm like, I tuned out 2 minutes and 30 seconds in anyway. So, and...
Well, people's attention spans are just so short now. With all the,
Did that come into your mind when you were making it, though? Like, what are people going to want? Like, did you go into it at all, or do you have any songs where you're like, people are going to make TikToks to this? Or I want people to make TikToks to this
I don't really know, like, what the basis of TikTok really is.
You don't?
I mean, I do. Like, I know, I get the whole gist, but I don't know, like, what type of songs, like, people would make TikToks to. You know, I don't, in my head, go like, oh, okay, this is a TikTok song. Like, I don't really know what that is because I don't go on there. You know?
Are you planning on doing TikToks? I think you should.
I know, everyone's telling me I should.
You should just fucking dress up like you're from Andromeda and just, like, bang out some concepts. Yeah. And just, like, create stupid choreography. It's all about, like, the stupid choreography. Yeah. And, like, a catchy part of a song that people will relate to. And, like, or you could actually integrate your music in so many different ways. Like, even with, like, the music video, you could just post a portion of the music video to TikTok, and, like, that becomes its own. Like, there's a lot. And every view is a stream if your song's on it.
You know? Oh, really?
Yeah. It changed the music industry, TikTok. Wow. Because literally, The Less I Know, The Better by Tame Impala, it literally went platinum this last year because of it went TikTok. Wow. It's like, it's been out for 5 years, and it went platinum now because a bunch of 15-year-olds are like, So it's like, you never know. Like, even Paramore went back into the top 100 because fans were making TikToks about Crush, or what's that song? I don't know. Fucking Misery Business, like, whatever. Like, you never know. So it's like, TikTok's a huge fucking thing. So you didn't think about it when you were making it, like, oh, like, this could be a TikTok thing, or no?
No, I didn't really think about that. I just tried to, like, stay true to myself as much as possible.
Which is the better thing to do.
Right.
Because honestly, there are albums that came out, Ariana Grande, in the last 6-7 months where I'm like, this is a TikTok song. Yeah. Period.
Right. And I don't want to just do it.
You want it to be timeless.
I think, and I think things will come. And I'm going to, obviously, after this creative process, I'll probably dive into some of that stuff, like promo stuff with TikTok. But I didn't want to make music just for TikTok.
To go viral,
Yeah, like, that doesn't really interest me. And I think if I do put my heart and soul behind it, that it'll have its time.
Is it crazy to you that it's like you're creating a part of your soul that is immortal?
Wow, I never even thought about it that way, to be honest.
Because even if you died like in a year or whenever,
knock on wood. I'm not trying to end up dying.
Right, knock on pink painted wood.
Yeah, who knows? I'm 23. Selena died at 23. Like,
oh fuck. Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm like counting down to my 24th.
We need to make a whole episode just on that.
Oh honestly. Shit. No, but that's the thing. I'm like, not only is this your soul and your heart and all your inner workings, but it's also it's indestructible at that point.
Yeah. It'll always be out there. It'll always be there. Yeah, of course.
It's gonna live on.
Yeah, it really will.
Oh my god. But it's your legacy. Like, you're leaving something. If you do anything in life, you left something that is who you really are.
Right.
Which is wild. Does it feel like gnarly being that exposed, or like you're gonna be like that perceivable in like your closest or like in your most vulnerable state? Does that scare you?
Of course.
Or is it exciting?
It's both. It's definitely both. I get kind of nervous about it. I mean, I just think one of my big fears is like just worrying about what people think about me and stuff like that.
Right. Are you thinking
but not to the point where it's like debilitating. You know, I do care what people think, but I'm not going to let it stop me from doing what I want to do. But
what do you think the people you grew up with?
Those people were laughing at me in math class.
Yeah, like, do you, like, as a part of you, like...
Yes! Oh, hell fucking yeah. Dude, when I listened to the song I sent you, Without You, which is the last...
Okay, that's what I've been, like, waiting to ask you about this.
okay.
I'm just, like, my thing is, like, is a part of you, like, scared at all? That you're, like, ruffling some feathers? Or that you're, like, bringing some shit? Like, what do you, or do you think, like, yeah... Like,
no,
like,
I wish I could be that, like, fuck you. It is the ultimate fuck you song.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. But of course, yeah, I'm a little worried about what, I'm a
You're like, am I going to break up a marriage?
Maybe possibly.
But
I don't know. It's just, I'm going to go all in, be fearless with it. I mean, what the fuck are they going to do? I mean, like, sue me, like, or... show up at my doorstep or make a diss track back at me.
Do you think you could be sued? Did you go through legal at all with this?
I didn't. So we'll see what happens. I Googled it because I wanted to know. I don't want to spoil it though. Right. I don't want to like tell what's gonna happen. But you know the pieces that I used, I looked it up, and you know voicemails are your property at that point. It's like because they're giving you that. That's your. They're basically saying it to you.
Directed to you. Right. I was literally thinking this on my way home. I was like, people don't fucking send voicemails anymore.
I think it's
because they're scared of me. Like fucking
you're being fucking exposed.
I'm like, I don't want to be no sample. Don't fucking. But I wish people still did it. Yeah. Because I have no voicemails from anyone. I mean, I do, but none from people that I could ever fucking make a song about. So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I just like,
I was like, I had not listened to any of those, and when I heard them, I was like, I need something.
Was the song written before you added it?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. How did you choose, like, this is the one?
Well, I mean,
this matches.
We went through a few different, I think I sent you a few different ones, and I was like, okay, I knew I wanted a song where I was going to sample something, or kind of like an in my head by Ariana Grande kind of vibe. I knew I wanted something like that on the album. So I went through like my voice memos. Originally, I was gonna do like just a voice memo because like a lot of times if I have ideas for songs, then I'll just go on my voice memo and like say something or record myself singing a little line, or so I was gonna maybe sample something from that. Yeah. But then I found the voicemail, and then I was like, okay, no, wait, this is really, and it goes with the song. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Damn. And just fuck it, you know. And it's crazy because Without You actually was it was actually gonna be I mean I guess I can say this now, but it was gonna be like a, I don't even know what you would call it, but basically I was going to make it Cry Me a River. Like the chorus was gonna be Cry Me a River, but then my
like
producer,
a sample.
Not even a sample. I was just gonna be singing "Cry Me a River."
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, it was like, I guess maybe one day I'll release the original.
Bonus track.
I changed it. Yeah. I changed it completely. Because it was you can go ahead and cry me a river. Yeah. So it was kind of like a response track. To Cry Me a River. But then my producer was kind of like, you know, that's kind of like, I don't want you to get sued.
Yeah,
like, you know,
it's touchy. Especially because Justin Timberlake's a fucking dick.
Yeah, exactly. Which I didn't know before.
No, he's not. He literally, I'm like, sidebar, he's so like, he's like a colonizer in the music industry. He literally bought all the rights to Michael Jackson's music after he died. So I'm like, that's gross to me. Yeah. It's like, why do you have the need to own that guy's work? Yeah. Like, you didn't make it. What's the fucking deal? And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, and even like with Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl when he ripped her like bra thing off, like she literally was like blacklisted in the industry. Like her record label didn't promote her album. And it's like he didn't stand up for her, he didn't protect her as a white man. Like he didn't do any of it. He just was like, crash and burn, you guys, I'm justified.
Wow.
And I'm like, fuck you. And he didn't sign Justin. He like, and I think about that, how if Justin chose Justin instead of Usher, how the music industry would just be, everything would be different as we know it. You probably wouldn't even be able to be an artist. Because it's like, Justin paved the way for a regular person to do it. It's just like...
Absolutely.
So I think Justin Timberlake has been salty for years because he was the first Justin. Like, I'm Justin.
Right.
You know? I'm the, like, white, like, wannabe, whatever type guy. And then Justin rebranded Justin.
Yeah. No, he did.
And I think he literally didn't, they didn't sign with him, I think, for that reason of, like, no, you're not going to, like, overshadow me or eclipse me at all.
Right.
But who really wins in the end, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I'm just like, okay, yeah, maybe a good idea with not the whole Cry Me a River thing, but great idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Justified is his first solo album. That's what Cry Me a River was on.
Yeah.
So iconic, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm like thinking one day when I make it big, manifesting.
Yeah.
I will.
You could just ask him, like, can I just...
Yeah, and then my label can talk to his label, and then we'll be like, okay, let's clear it. You know?
One's like...
And then I'll remake it.
Yeah, no one's really sampled Justin yet. Justin Timberlake, his early shit. So I'm like... I'm like, it should be done.
See, exactly. I mean, I hope no one takes this idea. Like, I'm like saying it out loud.
We can cut it. Like, whatever. Fuck. I mean, once you say it, you can literally, like, be like, that's my intellectual property, bitch.
Right,
so, yeah.
Definitely.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. So, it's done. The song's done, right? Is it Without You?
Yeah.
Okay, when you finished it, were you just like, oh shit? Like, are you nervous about it still?
I am still, I'm nervous about it, but I feel like that's the one song that I was like, this is like what I needed. I needed to like get this off my chest. I needed to put this out, you know?
Is a part of you a little bit excited for everyone to like know what you went through?
Not excited. I mean,
but like, let me rephrase that. Are you excited for people to know who he is? Like, how he is?
I mean, I don't want, like, I was going to try and I don't want to play him on blast.
Yeah.
That's not my intention. I don't want, that wasn't like the whole point of the
Do
song.
you think he will realize what he's done? Or like rethink, like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, do you think he'll be like, who even is that?
I think he,
because it's like, if you think about it, this is like, it's almost like someone's shadow talking. It's not really like obviously their higher self,
and
but it's like,
and he literally basically told himself that I was this monster,
right?
He was a victim and this and that, and he was, and I'm sure he still tells himself that to this day to try and get over it,
right?
And I'm sure he tells her that. So.
But it'll bring clarity.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, and this is what was good.
Exactly. And if he does hear it, then he'll be like, hopefully it's a reality check.
That's so satisfying. If I literally had tea like that and I like, made a song and whatever, I would feel so vindicated. I would feel so like, this is like, I don't know. Do you feel that way?
Yeah,
or you're
absolutely.
Just like,
yeah. No, straight up.
Is that how you feel when you found the memos? You're just like, oh my god.
Well, like when I listen to it and then I hear the drop.
Because you said you didn't hear them for like a year.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I never
so it's
listened
almost
to them
like
because he would go in this manic rampage and just leave all these voicemails on my phone. So like I was like, I'm not fucking listening to this 3-minute voicemail of him going crazy on me, telling me how terrible I am. And
but it was like low key a blessing
in
the future.
It really was,
because you're like, wait, this literally completes
perfect song material. So
damn. Okay, so when the beat drops. You said.
I mean, I just like when I'm in the car and I'm listening to it and then I hear the beginning and then the beat drops, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, this is. I literally start like cheering. Like, straight up. I'm like, yes. Like, this is everything. Like, I could have. And also, like, I played it for some of my friends yesterday, like a little unreleased little listening session kind of vibe. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, everyone was going crazy. Like, and it was getting that response, like, felt really good because it's like, yes, like this is exactly what I could have hoped for, and it's just like the ultimate like fuck you, the best. And like I said, it's not coming out of I don't have any like ill intention, and I honestly hope he doesn't hear it. Honestly hope his girlfriend doesn't hear it, but like because Loki is fucking a diss track at this point.
It should honestly be called Out You. Because you're outing someone, basically.
I know.
I'm like, damn. I mean, that's hard. I mean, I feel like it's what you hope you would create with any, like, album. It's just like, yeah. Like, because it's the concept of it and the final product. No one has that. Or no one can, because it's your own.
Because it's my
it's
personal
your thing.
Experience.
So it's just like, that's almost like, it's like a centerpiece of an album kind of thing, where it's just like, this is literally the basis of the story. And does the song that comes after that like tie into it at all, or like what's the next one?
So it's actually Without You's the last song.
Oh shit!
So that's where it closes out.
Oh shit!
And then, but with also the outros after that, which is like kind of like I was gonna say it kind of just not leaving it on a bad note. So it's like if Without You was the last song, then it's kind of like bringing it full circle. Yeah. You know, like showing, because if that would kind of seem bitter in a way if if it was Without You was the last one, but it was like, it's not about that. It's about the healing. That's what the whole project is about. But before that is there's a song called Does She Know, which is, it's not like a, you know, diss track or anything, but it's like, you know, it's a kind of alternative guitar based song, and it's a really dope song. I'm excited for everyone to hear.
What's it about?
It's about the same subject, but it's just like, you know, does she know like who you really are? And then it goes into,
damn, that's so lit. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, this is exciting. Am I able to play a part of Past Life Lover?
Sure.
Like legally, like is it like?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say about the album? I feel like I have more questions, but like I don't want to take more of your time.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, I think we went over everything, you know? I mean, it's a cinematic experience. Make sure everyone listens to it. Start to finish. Don't shuffle that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to it, intro to outro.
Yeah. And, how long is it? Like 40 minutes?
I actually haven't timed the whole thing start to finish.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably maybe a little less than that, like 30 or something. But I'm excited to make the short film.
Are you on Apple Music? You're on Apple Music.
Yeah.
How do you... Hold on. I'm trying to look. I'm like, check her out on Apple Music. What's your name on Apple Music?
Sundarri.
How do you spell it?
Sundarri.
Nice. Love it. Okay. So you have some singles out. You have Lose Myself, Past Life Lover, Free Throw. Did I just say that wrong? Sad Face. And Lose Myself Tropical Remix. Yeah. That's so like artists to have like, a tropical remix. That's so good. Yeah. How old were you when you released your first single?
2020.
2020. What month?
Like, I think it was April. It was in quarantine.
Oh shit. Perfect.
So it's about to be a full year that Lose Myself released and the EP's dropping. So
yeah, let's just vibe it out. LOL. Listening to this in a tent under the stars on acid.
Oh my god! Look at that.
But
the album
I know.
Cover too.
I'm looking at it and I'm just like, this is what it feels like, though.
It is.
It feels like. Yeah. Is this a picture of a building in New York?
It is. Yeah.
In a kaleidoscope.
Actually, funny story about that photo. It was a photo of me and my ex. And
you cropped.
I edited it and I mirrored it. So basically, like, yeah.
Hold on. This is my favorite part of the song. Okay. Hold on. It's coming up. It's this part. That part when I was on acid, I was like, was it a dream? I was like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You never know.
I literally was like, fuck.
You can say I'm not ready.
Wow.
You can say I'll never be your I can't believe this is about Justin Bieber.
I feel like we've all like wrote love songs to him.
Yeah. No, I mean my first song that I ever wrote actually, which wasn't even a full-fledged song. It was like it was messy. It was called Celebrity, but it was because I had a dream about him. Again, I'm always dreaming weird shit about him. But
me too. It's like, why does he visit me in my dreams? He's been visiting me in my dreams since I was like 12.
I know.
And I'm like, get the fuck. It's so Pisces.
It's like I don't know them. Like,
I
know him in person, obviously, but Yeah, it was called Celebrity, and it was like, you're a celebrity, so why would you be with me?
Yeah.
Be with me.
Manifesting
and
it.
then that was the first song, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it obviously never was anything specific note in my phone or whatever, but then later, after I had already released some stuff, I was like, and I dreamed about him. I sat down and I wrote Past Life Lover, like, in one go. It was like, I literally sat down and I had my glass of wine. I, like, went into tunnel vision. Like, I don't even know what I was writing. It was, like, my subconscious
Those
writing.
are the best fucking
nights. I know. I know.
It's the best.
It really is.
We'll have, like, a rap song-ish. Free throw? Kind of? Right? It's, like, kind of rap?
Well, this is, like, my baby.
Huh?
This is like my baby. Like my new sound is like so different.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the new sound. Because, like, with these...
I think I was trying to find my
with
branding.
these singles, you think you were trying to find your sound.
I was like, I didn't know, like, my roommate wrote my first song. Like, I didn't even...
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I didn't know anything about writing. I didn't know...
structure.
Yeah,
like
and then
song theory
finally...
and
Right. And then by Past Life Lover, I was like... Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, that one kind of feels like it was like when you're channeling it, you wrote it out in like in a way where it changes and it goes to like different parts or rooms. Right. It feels like so that's like
it does feel like that. Yeah. You're like going through like the song like physically feels like you're going through like a house and like you're going into like different rooms.
That's what I think. So like when I was on acid and I was listening to it, I was just like literally, where am I going right now? I was like, well, what?
It feels like a portal kind of.
Yeah, it's like what am I walking through? What's going on? It definitely feels like that. Wow, I'm excited to hear the whole thing.
Me too.
Are you gonna do a release party or what's the deal?
I am definitely gonna promote it, on Instagram and
have you started the short film?
I haven't. I'm gonna let it marinate. I'm gonna release it and let it marinate and let people listen to it, and then I'll probably start filming probably sometime like in April or May. Yeah. I need to make sure I have all my ideas like really concrete before I just
Damn, that's so fun. Is it gonna be like do you even have the concept yet, or is it just like?
I do have the concept.
Is it gonna be like music video-y where like? Because have you ever seen Lana Del Rey's kind of like short film?
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like that.
Cute. So it's like each scene
will be a story.
Different.
It'll be a story, start to finish.
Is it gonna be like a big production, or is it just gonna be like solo, just you and a camera?
It'll probably be. I'm thinking about getting the same cinematographer and director that did the music video for Free Throw.
Cute.
Because they did a really good job. It looks really high quality. It's shot in 4K. Like it's gonna be up at the Berlin Music Video Festival.
Cute.
Yeah. So
when's that?
I don't know. They just like reached out and said they wanted us to submit. So
oh my god. And, so it's gonna be in it though.
Yeah.
Oh my god, T. Do you know when the festival is?
I'm not sure.
Okay, cute.
Because the deadline was like last week, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, I mean,
is that Free Throw the only music video? Wait, no, you have the other one for the other song.
Lose Myself, my first song ever.
Cute.
Yeah, which I made during quarantine.
Which is the best.
It was like a zero budget music video.
I love that.
It was a concept.
It was like you got married in the thing. Yeah. Oh my god. And you were in South Carolina.
I was in South Carolina.
Oh my god.
Quarantine.
That's so,
it was like full circle,
That's Tea.
Yeah, it was so weird. Just like how everything played out.
So quarantine made this album, right?
Pretty
this
much.
Whole thing, like
yeah, it really did.
You really just were like, well, fuck it. I have literally nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's why, in a lot of ways, I really do think like 2020 was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. I feel like everyone got to know their soul and who they are and like what they are like in times of crisis and the outlets that you choose.
Right.
Like. Because you could do anything.
Because I went through a big stage in the quarantine where I was just drinking excessively.
Just like
March,
whatever.
April.
Yeah, that was me.
And now
that was me the first half, and then the last 7 months I've been like in my own bag.
Yes, me too.
And I feel like that's like where the most shit has gone down. Where I'm like,
but I had to go through. I feel like
you have to go through.
2020 was literally.
It was a purging.
Yes, like me killing my older self.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, not in like a malicious way, but just like. Those old habits and patterns.
Your old fears, your old toxic thought patterns.
Right, like that didn't serve me anymore. Those don't serve me anymore. Like even now when I like pick up a drink, Like when I have a glass of wine, like my soul rejects it.
Yeah.
Like because I feel like I've done so much inner work at this point that's like I don't need that. And like before it was like, I couldn't get home from work without having a glass of wine.
Yeah, that was me for like a long time.
Yeah, same. And I was like so depressed in my relationship, and I wasn't happy. And like when I first moved here, I was drinking like a bottle of wine a night, just like I had no reasoning or no purpose.
That stage of heartbreak is the worst. When you're waking up every day, like
also if you're living and sleeping next to the person,
like
while they're like, you're with them, but like you're not really with them because like they've already checked out, So
I literally talked to my friend about this the other day, where it's like, are you ever with someone and you're looking in their eyes and you're right in front of them, they're right in front of you, but they're so fucking far away.
Yeah.
That it's like, who is this person? Yeah. Do I even know them?
So that almost hurts even more. Like, I'm glad I got it away from that. And I was like, when I moved out of that place in April of 2019, I realized that I couldn't. It was hurting more to stay in the situation knowing that he was doing whatever he wanted or, cheating on me or whatever the case was. And then just getting out of it, ripping off the Band-Aid and moving on. Yeah. Then just staying there paralyzed, numbing myself every day because like I was just,
I have a quote in my head that I think about all the time where I'm like, I'd rather be alone than lied to. Period. Like I almost want to make a whole song about it because it's like,
and a lot of people are so scared.
Everyone keeps, like most people keep themselves in situations that aren't even real, and they know they're not real in their heart of hearts, but they're like, let me just like be in it to like prove to the world and myself that I can like be taken or be kept or be in a thing or keep a relationship alive. It's like, or just let it go. Yeah. Like because you literally hate this guy.
Like, absolutely. And
that's so true.
I mean, I knew he wasn't the one from the beginning. And I ignored all the red
Were you making it work for like most of it?
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, I thought maybe like there was a way it could be worked out. And like when I saw like the red flags in the beginning, I was just like, I can look past it. But I mean, if someone's not the one, no matter how much time you waste with them, they're never for you. So like, you might as well just do it, cut it off early on, and understand that they're not the one, and save yourself a lot of time and drama. And I mean, I really did, I wanted like it to work so bad, and I was scared about what other people were going to say once I got out of the relationship. I was, because we were like, really attractive couple. People were like, Instagram, really? Yeah, it was like an Instagram vibe. Like everyone was like rooting for us, and like, because we were like an
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we were like an interracial couple. So like it was like everyone like was like, oh my god, like they're so.
You were interracial?
Yeah, I'm like Mexican and Puerto Rican, and he's white.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't ever think about that, but I'm like, My sister, I think literally it took her 11 years to realize that her and her boyfriend are interracial. Wow. And I'm like, is it interracial if the other person's white? Because I'm mixed, so everyone I've dated has been mixed. So I don't, like, is that interracial or we're both mixed? So it's the same. Yeah, so it's like, damn. Okay, so would you guys post to Instagram, like, couple pics?
Yeah.
And then,
like, I was basically,
was it deliberately like, here we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we were like,
so hot.
Really right. It was really sad because we could have literally been Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Damn.
Like, we could have fucking taken over the world if we could have just gotten out of our own way and let the ego go. Because like, we could have been a power couple.
Jay and Bay?
Yeah,
really?
we could have been a power couple.
Damn.
Like, I mean,
that's the worst when you're like, we could be great.
We got in our own fucking way and like used our power against each other instead of
using do you think that power of like what you were kind of like ruined each other?
Yeah.
Like where it's like, this is too much for either of us to like, because it's a when there is that like level of like beauty and like talent and like dynamic chemistry, the hotness, it's like that's
we're also pursuing the same thing.
Did it become like,
so it was competitive?
Yeah, competitive. Fuck, that's the worst. Damn.
Yeah, it's just like so fucked because we could have just supported each other. We could have just supported each other and been like, let's fucking make it, because we can do that. And like, and in the beginning there was some moments where.
Do you think that exists?
Maybe
like pure, like do you like?
Probably
who's a couple?
You have to be super mature. Both parties have to be super mature to be able to make it that. It's hard when you're both in the entertainment industry.
Does a part of you in your head, like, I gotta date someone who has nothing to do with, like...
Yeah,
did that change the way you,
like,
pursued people?
Yeah, I mean, after that whole situation, I was like, I'm never dating an actor. I'm never dating an actor.
Yeah, that's my thing, is that, like, they're actors. They put on a great show.
They really do.
It's literally their...
Well, it was like, the whole time we were fighting, we were, like, in a scene.
Really?
Like, on the street.
Would you milk the scene for just the drama?
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah.
You're like, this is a really good monologue. Let's put up a fucking...
Right.
Did you ever think that?
No, we definitely did. There was moments where we're like, we're performing right now. This isn't even a real argument. We're both performing.
We're just seeing who can be the most dramatic.
I know, yeah.
That's so funny. Straight up. Do you ever think that was like a demise though? That like you're both such dramatic people, right? Probably if you're both actors.
Yeah, I mean we met in acting school. So like we were both going through the same program where like they give the curriculum and everything. So we're like both going through like, you know, we were both being so vulnerable in class every day for 3 hours a day, and then meeting up, and then like you're in that headspace of like being super dramatic. So you're like
trauma bonding with everyone in the class essentially, because you have to write probably monologues and then perform other monologues, and then like be dramatic and emotional on stage, and everyone's seeing you at your kind of darkest or wherever you're going.
Your worst and your best.
Yeah, and that's like pulling on people's shit, and then they're resonating with you when you're this character, when you're that character. That's crazy, actually. Holy fuck. Okay, so would you guys ever do scenes together in class?
No, so thankfully we weren't in the same class.
Oh my god.
So it was such a thing though, because like we'd be in class all day, because we both went to school on the same days. That's how we met. And we would be in class all day, and then we would like go home together after class. So we'd both be in like this like crazy heightened emotion state, because we're just like, you know,
a trauma bond.
So then we'd
volatile.
We'd leave, and then we'd be like so open and vulnerable, but neither one of us are evolved enough in our spiritual journey or experience, or know ourselves well enough to know and pinpoint later.
Is this real, or is this just the scene that I was playing earlier?
Right, exactly. Neither one of us knew how to step back from it and say like, hey dude, we just got out of acting class for 3 hours, so like maybe we're projecting, or like maybe we're acting like the character right now.
That's the thing, is like when you're acting, your brain doesn't know the difference between your imagination and reality. So when you're creating a character, or you're being that character, you're creating that universe around, like you're manifesting that reality. So if you walk out of that reality and you're still like that person, then it's like you're attracted to the character that I'm kind of being right now, and vice versa.
Right.
So it's like, I think I've heard somewhere where people say, like actors will say, like the most important thing for an actor to do is like have a spiritually cleansing like hobby or ritual that they do no matter what, like yoga or meditation or like boxing, whatever it is, because it's like you need to like be able to know how to like, it's almost like closing a Ouija board. If you don't close the Ouija board, that portal's saying
absolutely. And I was just talking to my manager about this today, because we're talking about this voice class that I did. The teacher was also an energy worker. She's a really cool teacher. Her name was Nancy Mayans. She's really cool. She talked about how like you cannot carry around like those characters and those emotions all the time. So basically a way to put it away is energetically envision a treasure chest. And literally like take the character and form it into something like an orb or whatever, like symbol or whatever you want it to be, and then put it away, so that way you can still access those emotions and still access those that character when you get another role like that, but you're not just carrying around baggage.
Because I strongly believe that characters can possess you, because
they can. And how do you think Heath Ledger died?
Literally, you know, Jack Nicholson said to Heath Ledger, "Be careful with this role." Because Jack Nicholson did the Joker in the 80s. So he knows what it's like and where you can go in your mind when you're trying to method act as an insane person. Because you're basically making yourself an open channel for insanity and for other darker forces to like to embody themselves through you. Definitely. And that literally can most actors that play those type of things, like they get into some crazy shit in their real life. And it's like, it's because they didn't draw the line. Or they just become addicted to substances because they're trying to numb their own feelings from feeling that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's, like, arguably, like, the biggest deal in, like, the creative space.
And it is, like you said earlier, your brain doesn't know the difference. You know, your brain really does go into that fight or flight mode. It doesn't know that I'm performing, you know, it really is like,
it's like, she's really, like, going through this breakup scene.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, sometimes even, like, in class, like, if I knew that I had to get sad for a scene, I would do, like, the physical, basically actions that I would do when I would cry. So, like, I would lay on the floor and, like, go like this, kind of, like, to just make myself get to that place, and I'd, like, make myself, like, kind of hyperventilate and get there, because, like, I basically make my body think, I'm like, okay, we're sad. Okay, like, you know, because I was doing the action, you know, so, and I know, you know, it doesn't know the difference.
Always thinking about sad things and then crying and, like, kind of going back to it, like, does something to your lymph nodes, and it does something to, like, your body, like, physically, because it's literally activating your glands and, like, your mucus glands, and because it's water, salt water that comes out, if it's, like, your tear ducts have, like, that overactiveness, or, like, it's always being, like, kind of tugged on, like, you're using your emotions to, like, get the tears out of you, your body's kind of constantly going into this, like, mode of stress. So if you're, like, always simulating that, it kind of, like, sometimes creates, like, inflammatory, like, problems. Like, I think about Selena Gomez and Lady Gaga, and they both have lupus, and I feel like artists and actors, they can, like, sometimes manifest illnesses because they're always playing with their emotions and going to different places all the time.
I agree.
And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important.
You just have to, the only thing that I can really say about that is just putting on the spiritual armor.
Yeah,
like,
it's
every
like you
day,
need it.
and just calling in that white light and protecting yourself every day, and, like, knowing that, you know, where you're going is really hard and can cause you to die. I know that sounds dramatic, but really
you can die.
Yeah,
and even if you don't physically die, your spirit can die too.
Right.
And you can just, like, become, like, an empty vessel of just, like, nothing. Oh, holy shit. Okay. I'm like, damn.
I know.
Okay. Last question, or we can wrap it up, but when do you think you're going to start writing the next thing? Or do you think you're going to sit on this for a little bit and make more tropical remixes?
Tropical remixes! Yes, tropical remixes. I promised myself and made a promise to God that after I made this album, that I would make a Christian album.
Really?
Yeah. So a gospel album is next.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you already, okay. When do you know when you're going to start writing?
I'll probably get through this release and everything first and go through, like, the whole process of promoting it and all of that.
How long do you think, are you setting your own promo, like, timeline, or are you just going to, like, promo until you feel like you're like, okay, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been trying to set up a timeline just because I, like, did a photo shoot for it and stuff, and I probably need to get started on the short film soon because I don't want, like, the momentum from the EP actually dropping the short film dropping, you know, so, like, probably, like, right after the EP drops, I probably need to start working on the short film immediately. Yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, I just know that, like, making Christian music is, like, a huge part of, like, my journey and my purpose, and it's been prophesied to me, like, which is a story for another time, but I've written a few Christian songs already that I know I'm going to put on the album, but that's my next step.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because, like, with this EP, you could end up, you know, getting people that want to, like, feature on it, and you can, like, remix the songs and they become almost new songs from the album.
Right, that's true.
So it's like you can milk this album for, like, years. Really long.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely, I don't want to just be so, and that's something I've tried to learn in my music career, is just, like, I don't want to be so focused on the next thing that I'm not present and, like, I'm not fully enjoying the releases as they come, and I'm just kind of, like, you know.
Also, you have to live for experiences to write about.
Yeah.
So it's just like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why Frank Ocean took so many years between his albums. Rihanna hasn't even put out an album
That's
yet.
my favorite, actually, because, like, Tame Impala's last album, they took like 5 or 6 years to make it, and I'm like, good. It's one of the best albums ever. Yeah. And I honestly either think they shouldn't make any music anymore, or if not, release something in 7 years.
Yeah. Like, no, I agree.
Because like,
I agree.
When you're just putting out an album every 6 months, it's like, okay, you're
we
productive.
We get it. Yeah.
It's like,
well, I want like people to want more. I want people to hear it and be like, okay, when is she gonna release the next thing? And when she does release the next thing, like I want
it's more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And I want people to, hear it and get that same feeling that they do with Rihanna or Franco. She's like, oh my God, when are they gonna release something again? Like I'm so excited for them, and I want it to do it justice and be like a step up from the last one.
Improved. Damn, that's exciting. Wow. Short film, EP coming out. EP comes out March 7th. Do you have any other like links or things or upcoming things you want to talk about or plug for the end?
I think that's pretty much everything.
That's it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, everything.
So exciting.
Yeah, that was great to talk about everything.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so your Instagram is?
My Instagram is Sundarri. Follow me.
Totally. I'll leave it on the screen. All links will be down below. You can find you on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud?
I haven't gotten into SoundCloud yet. I honestly need to. SoundCloud, there's like it's everywhere, like Google Play, Napster, Deezer.
Cute.
But
Napster.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but like who really goes on those places,
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so exciting. Okay, any last words?
Listen to the album start to finish.
Yes.
That's my last dying
Honestly,
wish.
Trip to it.
Yes. Like, oh my God. No, that's on my bucket list for sure. Period. I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna trip because I hear music in a whole different way.
Oh, tripping changes the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you can really feel everything.
The emotion.
Every instrument.
I know.
We've been filming this for 2 hours.
I know.
I have a lot of content though to work with. We have a lot of shit to work with. Hopefully your camera's still filming.
I know. Imagine we've just been talking to nothing.
Yeah,
so it's
that would have sucked. It's fine. It's gonna be all good. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for coming on and giving me content.
No,
for
and
this
thank
episode.
you for asking the dope ass questions and being deep and I love a deep combo. So, and we'll never fail.
We'll do it again. We'll get back on here and talk about other shit too.
Okay.
Because like we're also both Geminis, by the way.
Oh, Gemini sun and both Pisces
our whole
moon.
chart's the same.
Well, our birthday's what, like
2 days apart?
Yeah.
2 days apart, you guys. Okay. I'm really bad at my outro, so let me just try to end it on a high note. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow her on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Follow my meme account. It's called Meme City Trick. All the links are down below. You can find this podcast where all podcasts are available. What do people say when they say everywhere podcasts are found? That's what people say, right?
Okay. I don't listen to podcasts to be honest, but
it's on iTunes, the podcast app, Google
podcast app.
Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Anchor. It's on SoundCloud, and you can also follow the Twitter page. I think it's the Potty Mouth Pod, and we also have an Instagram page as well. We also have a TikTok. It's Meme City Trick right now. I might post clips to it later. Who knows? Stay tuned for more episodes. Leave comments on SoundCloud and on YouTube to give us notes and tell us what you liked about the episode or what you would like to hear more of in future episodes. So yeah, thank you guys for cruising. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.